information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Let's make this the new year to drive your new Kia home from Gossett Kia on the Pike. Bobby J's waiting to put you in a new Kia today, so come hit the road with 41 MPG Highway and 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Or get 7-passenger seating in a 2023 Kia Sorento LX. We Gossett at $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And if you want your new ride to be a 2024 Kia Telluride LX, we Gossett at $449 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease plus Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Kia today, 1900 Covington Pike. Online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee. Forte RE 722-812, MSRP 21,590. Sorrento PG 242-710, MSRP 33,010. Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38,705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/31/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
They get up every morning from the long clocks, morning, take the 8:15 into the city.
Welcome in, everyone. Happy Friday to you. Last week it was the snow week. This week, the rain week. Next week, hopefully, will be the pretty decent for the end of January, early February week with beautiful weather. Expected at least nice weather after what we've gone through the last couple of weeks. But it is Friday, and all is right in the world as we get you set for the sports weekend. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you on this Friday, January 26th, 2024. Little thing we call Sports 56 Mornings. We're broadcasting live from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. They are located at 2120 Whitten Road. That's just north of I-40. Their floor model sale continues. Maybe check them out this weekend if you have a chance. You'll love what you see, and you'll love all the great deals at Family Leisure. First hour of the program is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware. Currently 51 degrees, cloudy skies. We're looking at a high today of 61. Occasional rain showers with a chance of rain at 50%. Tonight, cloudy, again with occasional rain showers, low of around 46. Chance of rain 40% tonight. And then even into tomorrow, there's a chance of rain, although that chance drops to 30%. We're looking at a high of only 50 tomorrow. Again, with clouds and a few showers possible to get your weekend started. But I promise you, the sun will come out one of these days. Maybe not tomorrow, but the sun will be coming out sooner than later. At least our fingers are crossed about that. Coming up on the program today, John Varlas in studio, 7:25 from the Daily Memphian. Matt Dillon at 8:25 with the Tiger Basketball Report. Tigers get set to head to Birmingham for Sunday's battle with the Blazers. 4 p.m. tip from Bartow Arena. And then at 9:05, handicapper Brandon Lang will break down the AFC and NFC championship games. We got some news from down under. NBA, the Grizzlies back in action tonight. They'll host the Magic. Penny Hardaway speaks about his team. The NBA All-Star starters were announced yesterday. Also, the MVP finalists in the National Football League. And some NFL coaching hirings and some surprises. Not really so much who, but who's not right now being considered for a head coaching position. We will discuss that on the program. We got 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. That'll come your way at 9:30. We'll take your calls and texts on the Sports 56 listener lines at 901-360-8255. You can also send us a comment, a question, a concern on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or send it directly to the website, sportsmemphis.com. That's your lineup for today. Happy Friday. How are you?
I'm good. Fantastic.
You're better than the Joker, either Joker. Nikola Jokic and Denver, I believe, lost last night. And this morning, and I know we don't talk much about tennis, but I'm surprised because Novak Djokovic is done. He loses in the semifinals at the Australian Open. It just happened moments ago as he loses to an Italian by the name of Yannick Sinner. Sinner moving on, Joker going home, so he will be not denied another singles major championship. There you go. We don't talk a lot about tennis, but that's a big surprise.
From what I gather, first time he's ever lost in a semifinal or final at the Australian Open.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh. I wonder what the odds were then on him to win it all, especially to advance to the finals, if that's his record. That's his resume at the Aussie Open. So big shot.
Quite a match going on right now.
They do 5 sets between Medvedev and Zverev. The winner again will take on Sinner. And, of course, I'll be rooting for the Italian. But, yeah, Novak Djokovic is done at the Australian Open. All right. NBA All-Star starters announced yesterday. LeBron James will be appearing in his 20th All-Star game. No surprise, he got the most votes of the Western Conference players. He will be the captain again. He's been the captain every single time since they've gone to that, right? With the captain selecting and all that.
Well, they're not doing that.
Oh, that's right. They've done away with it. But he's still the captain. They say as the leading vote getter, he becomes the captain. LeBron, KD, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. In the East, who is the leading vote getter in the East?
Giannis,
okay. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton, Damian Lillard. It seemed like the only the uproar, if there was any uproar yesterday from the fan base that followed the NBA, was that they believe Jalen Brunson should have been the starting guard along with Halliburton over Damian Lillard.
And he tied with Lillard, but Lillard won in the fan voting over him, and that is the tiebreaker that they used. So that's why Lillard got the spot.
They tied all those votes? They ended up tying?
Well, no, they didn't tie in like total. Again, he got more fan votes, but when you do the players, the media, and the fan voting and figure it out, they ended up with the same amount of points.
Wow, that's interesting, though. I mean, that's a lot of people that are involved. You're right.
Well, even if it's just, but it's not total votes. It's saying. A ranking. No, it's 1, 2, or 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3 or 4. Whatever.
It still, to me, seems like you're talking about players. You're talking about coaches, right?
No, you're talking about players, media, fans.
Okay, media. I mean, how many media is involved? That still seems like it's a lot of people that are involved in this thing, even if it's not total votes, to end up coming up with a flat-footed tie. But either way.
They both had it at 3.75.
Yeah, Brunson will be on the team, but again, won't be a starter. And then you never know which players will bail out because of injuries or things of that matter. But certainly well-deserved as far as the guys that were selected. Not too many arguments, again, that can be made, maybe with the exception of Jalen Brunson.
I'm glad that the players apparently take the voting very seriously.
Oh, I know.
Among the Grizzlies players, Santi Aldama got 11 votes from the players. Steven Adams got 7. He's had a hell of a year. Xavier Tillman got 6. Bismack Biyombo got 3. Zaire Williams got 1. David Roddy got 1. Brandon Clark got 1.
What the hell is that? We talked about this last year, I remember. I mean, if they're not going to take it seriously, then do away with that involving the players.
John Conchar got 1.
Come on.
Vince Williams Jr. got 1.
Did Jacob Gilyard get a vote?
I did not. Gilyard did not. Although I don't think he's eligible anyways, because he wouldn't even get on the ballot because
he's a two-way guy. All right, but that's a bunch of BS. That's a bunch of BS.
Desmond Bane, by the way, was 10th in the player voting for the Western Conference backcourt.
Where did Ja end up finishing?
Ja was 15th in player voting. He was 9th, though, in fan voting. So he finished ahead of Desmond Bane.
But again, even in player voting, Ja Morant missed the first 25 games. He's out for the year. He played a total of, 9 games?
Mm-hmm.
What are they thinking? Take it away from the players if they're going to not take it seriously. And then the fans, fans do it at least better than the players, but sometimes they're questionable with their decision making. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, but that's ridiculous for the guys that you just rattled off those names to have votes. And some of them, many of them, multiple votes.
Yeah, I
Were they smoking a joint and putting their votes down?
Obviously, they just throw. I mean, again,
Santi Aldama.
The same guys end up at the top of all three, basically. So it's. I mean, it's fine. I mean, there's very little, differ. Like in the Western Conference front court, it's the same three guys that are top in all three voting methods. The Eastern Conference might have been the same thing. So, I mean, it ends up being, even with some guys throwing votes, obviously, into weird spots, it still ends up pretty much as the same top 3 or 4. I mean, there's 3 or 4 guys that it goes between.
I guess the ends justify the means. The way they got to the conclusion may not be orthodox, but it's the right conclusion. When you look at the names that are on the All-Star team, at least as starters.
In the East, Jalen Brunson was 3rd in the player voting, and Lillard was 4th. In the media voting, Jalen Brunson was 2nd, Lillard was 5th. And then in the fan voting, Lillard was 3rd, and Brunson was 5th. And again, the fan votes is 50%. The other two are 25% each. So it ends up with a 3.75 for both, but then the tiebreaker becomes fan voting. Lillard won the fan voting. Tyrese Maxey was actually 2nd in the player voting in the Eastern Conference backcourt.
Yeah, I could see that. I certainly could see that. Again, for the most part, they do their job, but then there's still enough of them that just kind of screw around a little bit. In my opinion, between fans, players, media does the best job when it comes to these type of things, but even they screw up. Some of the rationale with especially Hall of Fame voting, those who have votes for Cooperstown, some of the players that they leave off or just don't put them on the first ballot and then they wait till their 3rd or 4th ballot and then they're all of a sudden a Hall of Famer. The AP voting, some of the strangeness in the AP voting. Most of the media take it seriously and get it right, in my opinion, or at least close to it. There are some idiots out there that probably shouldn't have a vote, and maybe after each year, and maybe they do this, that they take a look at who's voting and they go, okay, this dude is he's way off kilter. We're not going to give him his vote back. But I think the media does the best job. Then probably the fans, players, I think they take it less seriously, but it's the same with the coaches' polls. We know the SIDs pretty much are doing the voting. There might be a few coaches that take it seriously and want to do it, but others are just too preoccupied to even deal with it. So anyway, there you go. That's when will the reserves be named?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Okay. Tonight, the Grizzlies in action. They'll host the Magic. The Magic at 23-21. They've had a solid start to the season. Good young talent led by Paolo Banchero. The Grizzlies 17-27. Coming off an impressive win in Miami. They won 2 in a row overall. Luke Kennard is available and is expected to play tonight. Santi Aldama is questionable. He could go tonight. But the nemesis of the Grizzlies is, aside from all their stars out with injuries, is home. They're back at home. It should be a good thing. It's not a good thing, unfortunately. They're much, much better on the road. But tonight they'll give it a shot against Orlando before heading to Indiana to play Tyrese Halliburton, who's out, right? Is he out with an injury right now?
He is out right now. I'm not sure when he's supposed to be back.
Yeah, so they'll play possibly a Pacers team on Sunday in Indiana without Halliburton, but tonight it's Orlando.
Yeah, trying to figure this whole thing out at home. I don't know. We'll see if that happens tonight. At this point, trying to predict anything this team might do. I'm not here to try and figure this thing out at all. I'll just wait and see what happens tonight. They might be great, might win by 15, they might lose by 30. I have no clue.
College basketball last night, not a busy night to say compared to Wednesday's Wednesday's games. But last night there was a interesting game in the American Conference. North Texas knocked off SMU 68-66. Another one of the newcomers to the American Conference that at times has played well. Good defensive team. And they slow down SMU and they get the W. Memphis has to play at North Texas this year. So they have to go on the road to play North Texas. Again, you look at it on the surface and you go, big deal. It's North Texas. Well, we know what the situation is. It doesn't have to be rehashed. We'll talk more about the Tigers with the Tiger Basketball Report and Matt Dillon at 8:25. But again, North Texas knocking off SMU 68-66. You had a couple days ago UTSA knocking off Tulane, which beat Memphis. So a lot happening as far as the American Conference is concerned.
The last night, the women's basketball game, the South Carolina LSU game, that was some high level women's basketball, man. Those two teams are both so good. South Carolina just continues to win and win and win, despite she lost most of her roster from last year. She just keeps on winning. It's pretty incredible. That the atmosphere, everything about that looked great.
I watched a bunch of it. You go back to the days of Connecticut's dynasty and the Lady Vols before that, and Pat Summitt. That's when you got the highest level of women's basketball. Of course, now you have a professional league in the WNBA, but as far as college is concerned, all those years of domination, and there were still some great programs like the Stanfords of the world. Baylor was really good. There's others, but Dawn Staley, she's fantastic. I really do believe Dawn Staley could coach up the guys. That she could coach in the NBA, just like I've always thought Becky Hammon can, and probably some others. Dawn Staley's a great coach. I love her comment that she, and I had it here and I lost it on Twitter, but basically they said, the tough atmosphere, they were letting you have it, and she said, no, they were real gracious to me. They were booing me. They were calling me boo. That's what she said. They were calling me boo. She gets it. And Kim Mulkey, I know there are some people that don't like her. She's over the top. She's overbearing. She's aggressive with her players. To me, she's a breath of fresh air. I love Kim Mulkey. I love Dawn Staley. I love Kim Mulkey. I love those two teams. They were getting at it. Yeah, that was high-level basketball, and it was played by two women's teams, and it was fantastic. And in the end, South Carolina comes from behind and beats LSU.
Yeah, Angel Reese fouling out of the game was a big problem for LSU because after that point they did not do well. That was 11-4, 11 something like that run to end the game after she fouled out.
Who's the big for South Carolina? Who blocked Angel Reese's shot and then gave her the stare down? I love that. I mean, she's just right there, just right back in her face. And I don't think Angel wanted to look her in the eye. She was just staring down Angel Reese. So, yeah, that was good. That was a highlight, obviously, of last night. It wasn't a real busy night in the world of sports, and I thought that really stood out as far as sports activities last night. NFL, a lot of NFL news. MVP finalists were announced. Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, Josh Allen. All quarterbacks. No, Christian McCaffrey, sorry. He is a running back. Jackson, Prescott, Purdy, Allen, all quarterbacks. They miss anybody?
No. I mean, I don't think you need that many finalists.
I don't think you do either. I thought there was always 3, but there were 5 of them. I'm not sure if there was a... Remember earlier in the year we were talking about maybe this is the year for the defensive player? Maybe a Myles Garrett or somebody like that could step up and win the MVP? Not going to happen. The hirings continue. According to reports, Dave Canales is going to be hired by the Panthers. He was the offensive coordinator with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is Mexican-American. And then, and this one was a surprise, not that this guy isn't worthy, but that Bill Belichick, who had 2 interviews with the Falcons, was not hired. Raheem Morris will be the Falcons head coach. He was an interim head coach with the Falcons years ago. He's quite familiar with the Falcons and Arthur Blank, having been an assistant coach there. Raheem Morris, African-American. Antonio Pierce, African-American. Gerard Mayo, African-American. Dave Canales, Mexican-American. I think ownership, they get it now. and probably can do away with the Rooney Rule, I think. I think the times have absolutely changed. As far as Belichick is concerned, you still have the names of Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll somewhat, Mike Vrabel, white men out there that are without jobs. And whether or not Washington or Seattle goes down that road, probably not. I don't think those guys have been interviewed. And in Seattle, where there is that opening, it looks like Dan Quinn. Of course, Dan Quinn is a white man, but Dan Quinn has that association with the Seattle Seahawks. So we'll see if they follow through and go with Dan. But for Washington, I don't know. Maybe they open up their hiring, their interview process a little bit more now. But Belichick, you just wonder, was it the age? And if it's the age, it could very well be the end, because a year off doesn't help him. And hiring him next year at 73, I don't know about that. So was it that? Was it that they didn't want to relinquish full control to Belichick, which I imagine he would want? Was it the fact that do they think that the Patriots dynasty was all Tom Brady and not Belichick? You have arguably the GOAT of NFL head coaches available. Atlanta's interviewed him, but not hired him. And all the other teams, as far as I know, did not even inquire about him. This is weird, strange.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the reasoning is, but certainly a little surprising if he does indeed want to coach next year, which, again, if he's interviewing with the Falcons a couple of times, would appear that he was interested in coaching next season, and for him not to get one. But, I mean, some of these, younger teams, like, they may not look at him as a fit for their team just because, he's coaching a young team in New England the last couple of years, and it hasn't gone very well. So they may look at just say, he's not the right fit for what we are right now. And maybe if there were some other teams that had more of a veteran mix that's trying to win right away, like the Chargers, but the Chargers, had Harbaugh as their guy, more of teams like that, maybe Belichick gets a job, but these others may look at it and say, he's just not really the guy, and he may look at those places and say, I'm not really the guy for those places.
I'm thinking that's it. I really am. I'm thinking that they're looking at Belichick and his old ways, even though there was so much success that came with that old style of coaching, that they don't believe it fits in today's world. I mean, in 2024 and beyond. There's also the thought that, well, we hire this guy, how many years does he have that he's going to stick around and want to coach? Maybe he'll coach 1 or 2 years and then want to call it quits. We want to build around somebody else. And even though Morris, when he was the head coach, does not have a good record, he is a guy who is well appreciated around the league and well respected around the league. But Atlanta interviewed, 14 different people? 14 different people.
They did a lot. They did a lot of interviews.
And they come back and they get a guy who they're comfortable with, who they know from the past.
They did a lot of work, all to end up with a guy who was once their coach.
I know, it's wild.
Seems like we could have got there quicker. It seems like if you like him so much, you would have hired him when he was your interim coach. But whatever, they found their way back together.
Well, and again, there's the thought also, the general manager, is that McKay in Atlanta? You got Arthur Blank's the owner, but the thought is that McKay was the one who made the decision. And if you're going to hire Belichick, there's the chance that you're interviewing Belichick, and Belichick's probably thinking, well, you're going to be out, buddy, because I'm going to run the show. And maybe there's the worry about, well, I don't want to hire that guy. He may take my job. So let me go somebody where it's safer for me, my job, and personnel moves will be made by me and not really by that head coach. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever find out why, but this isn't an indictment of the hiring of Morris. This is just, wow, Bill Belichick's out there. One team interviewed him. Nobody else is interested. Just crazy that we're going to go into 2024 and Belichick more than likely will not be coaching. Mike Vrabel, I don't know if he'll end up being a coordinator, but he's out there. And then we'll see what happens. Pete Carroll, probably the end of the line, although at his age, he's very spry, and still very much into it. So I don't know if he'll get that opportunity just because of his age. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. It's a simple call away. Dial up Brandon McCullough. He's the owner of the company, locally owned and operated. 901-438-5084 or online at newroofmemphis.com. They offer financing with different plans and options to choose from, including a 6, 12, or 18-month same as cash option. They'll work with your insurance company. They'll work out of pocket. Pinnacle's part of the Roofs for Troops program. Any veteran, active, or retired, you get a $250 rebate on the purchase of a new roof. They do residential and commercial roofing. So business owners, property managers, along with homeowners, if you have a leak or any other roofing problem, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. You get a 5-year labor warranty on the purchase of a new roof. All their work is satisfaction guaranteed. Beyond the roof, they can do carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, install shingles, put up fencing, siding, rotten wood repair. Whatever you can't do yourself, call the experts at Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. Quality work at a very reasonable price. Again,
how cool would it be, by the way, to be Raheem Morrison years from now? You get to tell your kids, hey, I beat out Bill Belichick for a job, for an NFL coaching job.
Yeah, that would be that's a pretty amazing story, I would imagine. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. Call Brandon at 901-438-5084 or go online to newroofmemphis.com. John Varlos from the Daily Memphian is next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Someone you know has a house with or without a pool, and you're thinking of selling whatever time of the year, remember what I always say. Talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and just make sure that I am one of them. I have a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in whether you sell or not and what you can make and when. And find out why people often say that when you want the job done, who are you going to call? Shell Dunn. You can reach me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's Shell Dunn Rosengarten at memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546. Do it now.
At Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all. The collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the new Callaway AI Smoke Driver. The new AI Design Club has multiple sweet spots across the face, making it an average of 7 yards longer than the prior models.
Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Kia today. 1900 Covington Pike. Online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee. Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21590. Sorrento PG 242-710, MSRP 33010. Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38705.
Between me and the missus. Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try? Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text JUDGE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 42424. That's JUDGE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When the weather gets better, I found a new place to really soak it in. It's the patio at the Commissary in Collierville. We all love the delicious Memphis-style barbecues. You can begin your barbecue fest with some great appetizers like the cheese plate or the tamales or the barbecue nachos. Oh, those smoked chicken wings, they're terrific too. Then dig into the ribs or the barbecue shoulder. Get it chopped or pulled on a sandwich. A big sandwich, or you can get it on a plate. You've got choice. And you've got choice in places. Don't forget the Germantown Commissary as well. Comes with beans and slaw, deviled eggs they're famous for. And Brad, you can even order by the pound, a 6-pack or an 8-pack or even a 12-pack. The Boss Man salad, the chicken plate, the barbecue shrimp. There's something for everybody, and those great desserts. The best icebox lemon pie anywhere. Or my favorite, the banana pudding. Check out the patio, TVs for sports, and music on the weekends. You love the Commissary.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. We have seen a couple of minor accidents out here so far as it starts to build pretty good already on Bill Morris Parkway 385 as you come out of Collierville, headed towards town. Still not too bad over here on Summer Avenue right now. We expect it to pick up even more in the next few minutes. Southbound Austin P highways, you work your way towards the interstate. Clear at the moment up through South Haven on 55 going northbound. Weimer's Jewelry 7525 Highway 64. They want you to know they are your Valentine's Day headquarters. Go by and see them this weekend and shop local. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:31 the time. Hour number one here on Sports 56 Mornings. It's Friday. That means it's Varlas time.
It's time for Greg and Eli's weekly visit with John Varlas of the Daily Memphian. Check out John's prep sports coverage and more at dailymemphian.com. Now, here's John Varlas with Greg and Eli.
John Varlas is the award-winning Daily Memphian prep reporter, but so much more. You can follow him on Twitter at John Varlas. He joins us every Friday. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's everybody today?
I'm good. I mean, I opened the door to let you in, and you're already picking a bone with me, criticizing me, even though Eli said the same damn thing about South Carolina's women's team. And you said, what do you mean you watch it? You don't know the South Carolina player's name? Yeah. It's on in the background. I'm watching it, but I'm doing a million things at once. I don't know the South Carolina roster. I don't know the center's name. Kill me, John. I'm sorry about that.
Then you weren't watching it.
What do you mean I wasn't watching it? You think everybody who watches every game knows every single player and everything that's going on in the game?
If I had sat down and watched the LSU South Carolina women's basketball game, I would be able to come in here today and talk to you educatedly about what I.
Oh, so now you're saying I'm uneducated.
What I had just.
That's what you're saying.
What I had just seen.
No, that's what you're saying. If I didn't take a bag thing of popcorn, sit down and watch a game and study it. It was on in the background.
Then you.
I would look up and watch at times while I was doing things.
If it was background noise,
while I was prepping for today and prepping for your segment. That's what I was doing.
Thank you for the prep too. Thanks for prepping for me.
Don't tell me that everybody watches every single game unless you're working the game. I'm not working the game. I wasn't covering the game.
No, I mean that's just my thing. If you had it on as background noise, then you weren't watching it.
You watch the NFC AFC Championship games on Sunday. You're going to know every single player.
No, but I will come in and I'll be able to tell you. I'll be able to tell you that Dre Greenlaw made the key interception. I won't be able to. I won't say who was that linebacker that made the key interception. I would know it was Dre Greenlaw.
We weren't going to talk about that. Eli brings up the women's game. I said I did watch some of it, which I did, which is not a lie. It was in the background. I know Angel Reese. She went up for a shot. She got it blocked by the center for South Carolina. I don't remember her name. Asked him. He didn't remember her name.
Okay.
Shoot me.
No,
all right.
You're the one that brought it up.
No. You brought it up 3 feet from the door.
But I was keeping our business in house.
There you go.
I was keeping it in the family. You're the one that wants to air out the dirty laundry for everybody.
You do these things like my wife does those kind of things. That's all right. Yeah, I'm 40 years in this business. I've never done my homework for anything. Anyway, that's my bone to pick with you for criticizing me.
Okay.
Well, all right. So you want to come back at me or you want to criticize something else?
No, I don't. I appreciate your perspective. It's just, again, if I was unfamiliar with a situation, if I was unfamiliar with two teams, but I sat down to watch them, by the time it was over, I would know the players who contributed.
If I watched the entire game,
victory.
maybe I would have remembered. I also have a horrible memory, and you have a great memory. That's why you know all these players off the top of your head. I will admit I have no memory.
Well, it's getting gradual. It's not as good as it was maybe 6 months ago. But
that's
BS. It's still pretty high.
That's BS. You had one of the greatest memories. The only one I would even put in your category
right?
Is stats.
Yeah, guys,
is stats. I don't remember. I will watch something that goes in one ear and out the other.
Come save me from this guy's stats, please.
Go ahead, brother.
Do you have a bone?
Oh, I got
another bone.
I had so many bones to pick this week. I had to narrow them down. I mean, I had bones with the Baseball Hall of Fame voting. I had bones with the Ole Miss women's basketball coach. I mean, so many bones to pick this week. But
Coach Yo, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
I knew her name, John.
Good for you.
Right.
Do you know her real name?
Yolette?
Yeah. You're doing your homework. Look at you, Greg.
I don't know. Maybe I should be in the business.
That's Mr. Women's Hoops all of a sudden. No, but the bone I'm going to, because it's a high school basketball bone, the bone I'm going to pick is with an anonymous voter in the state high school basketball poll. So you got the state poll, right? The voters vote every Sunday, Monday. The poll comes out Monday afternoon. And we've got a team in Memphis, Douglas. So let me give you Douglas's resume right quick. Last year they won their last 18 consecutive games in a row. They went into the state tournament on a 16-game winning streak. They won the quarterfinal game, obviously. They won the semifinal game. They get to the championship game. They lose to Alcoa by 1 point. Alcoa drives down, scores a layup with 2 seconds left, wins the game by 1 point. Great game, great victory for Alcoa. So they bring back virtually the entire team from that season. They bring back 8 of their top 9 players. They've won 22 consecutive games to start this year. So they've won 40 of their last 41 consecutive games. They're winning their games by an average of over 30 points per game. They've only had 4 victories this season that were not in double figures, and those were against out-of-state competition where they're trying to schedule a little bit harder to get them prepared for the postseason. And yet there's somehow still not a unanimous number 1 in the Class AA basketball ranking. Some guys out there voting for Gatlinburg Pittman, which Gatlinburg Pittman, God love them. They're 17-3. They've got a great player over there named Ty Glasper, who's a tremendous player. But with the resume I just laid out to you, and it ties in, Eli, to what you were saying about not taking your vote seriously. I think when you're tasked for voting with something as a reporter or whomever, you should take it seriously. You should study. You should look at the numbers, like the numbers I just reeled off. These things are very easy to find. You can see how dominating Douglas has been in this classification. And I just don't understand, a vote against Douglas at this point in the season, considering the resume that I just laid out to them. It's not like they're an unknown quantity. They played in the state championship game this year. They're 22-0. I don't think there's a boys team in the state that is undefeated at this juncture. I could be wrong about that.
Right.
But yet you still somehow.
But even though the numbers, and you're right about the numbers favoring Douglas, it's still subjective. It's still people have an opinion. Maybe they're from that area. Maybe they're more.
Well, and if you're from that area, don't be provincial. I mean, I've spent the last several days, because I'm apparently a prominent member of the high school media. I'm getting all these flyers and videos and things from Mr. and Miss Basketball. I've spent considerable amount of time over the last few days, looking at videos of these kids, looking over their resume, so that when I go to the Mr. Basketball committee meeting on February 6th and the Miss Basketball, I can make educated, informed decisions about these kids. I'm not just pulling stuff out of my butt. And that's what, that's what, Eli, you're talking about the all-star voting, voting for Steven Adams, voting for Brandon Clark, who hasn't played, voting. Thanasi Antetokounmpo got 3 votes in the All-Star game, and he's
that's all the Antetokounmpos.
That's what.
That's all the Antetokounmpos just all vote for each other. That's
but
all
I
they
was
do.
the one saying that. I was the one criticizing voters, whether it be Hall of Fame voters.
And you're right. And you're right. So this just, that's just a bone I had to pick. You're right, Greg. If you really truly deep down in your heart of hearts think that Gatlinburg Pittman is the best 2A team in the state at this juncture, I guess I can't tell you otherwise. But when you've got a resume, that says otherwise, I just wonder what
it would make
here with high school sports.
More sense. Who did you say beat him in the championship last year?
Alcoa.
Like if Alcoa was off to a really good start, I could see you saying voting Alcoa, because you say like they played last year and Alcoa beat them. I don't, depending on who's back, but that would make at least a little bit more sense.
Well, how do guys that vote in the Baseball Hall of Fame not vote on the first ballot Hank Aaron or not vote Willie Mays? They're never 100%. They're always 97%, 94%. That means voters out there are looking at Hank Aaron and Willie Mays and name the greatest of greats and going, you know what? It's their first time on the ballot. I'm not going to vote him in. Or they have some kind of prejudice against a certain player for whatever reason. It wasn't treated well when they interviewed him. Whatever. There's always prejudices, and it's always subjective voting. I'm with you 100%. It's those that vote for Antetokounmpo, the little Antetokounmpo, not the Greek freak, and give him a vote, or Santi Aldama, you're not taking it seriously. That's why I question it.
Exactly, and I guess that's my bone in general. If you're tasked with voting for something, take it seriously.
Yes, I agree.
In the grand scheme of things, if Douglas gets 11 out of 12 first place votes in the state poll, or all 12 of them, does it matter? Certainly not. But my thing is, look at these things. Put your analytical brain to use and try to take things seriously.
And to be like, in that situation, that's somebody who I assume wants to be a voter.
Yes,
these players, like, they're handed a ballot. I don't really care. The players are handed a ballot. They're not like, hey, I want to vote. I want to vote. I want to vote. They're like, they're handed a ballot, like, vote for people. They're like, I'll vote for my friend. Like, I like this. He's on my team. Like, this guy. Like, I really don't have a problem with the players that much. It's because they're not like begging to vote. They're just told to vote, and they vote.
They think it's funny. It's not funny.
And in the end, the same guys all end up at the top of their votes as end up at the top of the fan voting and top of the media voting. It all results in the same thing. So who cares?
Right. But I'm with John. I mean, if I had a vote on anything, if I had a Heisman vote, I had a vote for the AP Top 25, you better believe I'm taking that damn seriously. I am going to do the research, just like you are doing that with Mr. and Miss Basketball, whatever. I would do the same thing. I mean, you have to do it. You shouldn't have a vote if you don't take it seriously, in my opinion.
Fun fact, there's a kid from Upperman, which is near Cookeville, and he is a potential Mr. Basketball candidate. Looks like a really good player. His name is Ty Cobb.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
Ty Cobb.
I don't know what else is out there, but I'm tempted to vote for him just on that alone.
There you go.
Don't do that.
Looks like a good player.
Sounds like it.
He's got the numbers. His team is good. I mean,
do they call him the Georgia Peach?
I think they call him the Cumberland Plateau Peach. That's where Upperman is, up on the plateau there.
You were telling us during the break that there have been a lot of coaches that have hit the road, and that road being the Memphis area, recruiting for 2025, 2026, and beyond as far as football is concerned.
Yeah, it's been super busy the last couple of days. A lot of schools coming in here. Nevada, Las Vegas, with Barry Odom as head coach, has come in here. They've been very active, offering several guys. I think the big news offer-wise was Jamarian Morrow, the class of 2025 athlete from Germantown. I mean, he can play in the secondary, he can play receiver, he can play running back. I mean, he's just an athlete, and he picked up an offer from Georgia, which that speaks for itself.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, Georgia's
are pretty good.
Georgia's got a squad.
They recruit at a high level. They recruit some pretty good kids, from what I hear.
Yeah, they're not going to waste their time. But he picked up a Georgia offer, so congrats to Jamarian on that. He had an Alabama offer under the previous administrations, so I don't know. With Kalen DeBoer coming in there, I don't know what that looks like now. But he has numerous SEC and Power 5 offers. Joakim Dotson, the wide receiver from Collierville, same thing. Numerous SEC and Power 5 offers, and it's just a continuation, guys, of the great respect that these college coaches have for the local football talent. I mean, Radarius Jackson from Sheffield, the kid who won Mr. Football, he's picked up an offer from Missouri, to add to the Mississippi State offer. He has, I think, an Ole Miss offer as well. Colorado offered Radarius early in the process. Kelvin Perkins, the quarterback who we talked about all fall from Southwind, won Mr. Football in 5A. He picked up an offer for Temple. So it's, that's kind of sets the bar of where his recruiting is going to be. It just goes on and on and on. It's Coach Anthony Jones, the Memphian. He was in here at his old school, Westwood, where he used to be the head coach. He was offering the big lineman over there, Sedarian Kelly, a big 6'4", 250-pound kid with a lot of potential. So Sedarian now has a TCU offer, that he can look at. So it's just all kinds of kids from all different schools, all different programs, and it's just really, really cool to see. And all different classes too. The 2025 class, the 2026 class, and even the 2027 class. One of the big linemen from Southwind picked up an offer from UNLV, and Germantown's freshman running back Larry Johnson. He's picked up 2 or 3 offers in the last couple of days, UNLV, UAB, and I think Marshall. So it's really, really exciting to see all this happening for these kids.
Well, there's the plethora of talent, as we know, in this area. And unless it's regional teams that know the area and scout the area, those schools that come from around the country, usually there is a connection in their coaching staff and their recruiting people that have this background with Memphis, so they know the talent there. That's why you talk about Anthony Jones. He has the connection. Barry Odom has the connection. I don't know if there's anybody with Colorado that does or not, but it also tells you, too, if you're good enough, they will find you, right? They will recruit you. So that's certainly good news.
Well, and all this is happening, too, without, before the spring and summer camp season really gets heated up.
Right.
Because that typically doesn't get going until like April, May, and then all the summer too. So when these kids get out on the camp scene, some of these younger ones, the Kelvin Perkins of the world, some of these other sophomores and freshmen, as they become, juniors and sophomores, they're just going to continue to get more and more interest, more and more offers. And, it just really speaks to the volume of the football talent, the job that these coaches are doing. Many of these coaches under not great, conditions, facility-wise and monetary-wise and all that. It's just really gratifying to see. Yeah, it's
good
incredible.
for them. Folks, All-Star Chevrolet, one of our terrific sponsors. If you're ready to drive a new Silverado into 2024, All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch has financing down to 1.9% or up to $7,500 in cash. And you get another $2,250 with your trade-in on select vehicles. You'll love the new All-Star Chevy Equinox. The Trailblazers are terrific. Again, financing down to 1.9. No payment for 90 days. That's 3 months with no payments. Also, if you want a certified pre-owned Chevy or any pre-owned All-Star, they are loaded up with them. Lots of pre-owned Silverados, Tahoes, Jeeps, Broncos, the Traverse with the third-row seating, so you could do more as a family. If it's not there, just ask Jeff. He'll find it for you. Kevin and Jeff, everyone at All-Star Chevy asked me to wish you a very happy and healthy new year. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, not Bartlett or Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch. Find new roads at All-Star Chevy today or go to allstarautogroup.com. When we come back, the news from yesterday and Kayshon Boutte, the former wide receiver at LSU, now with the New England Patriots, and the gambling situation. I want to get John's thoughts on that when we return for our final segment here in hour number 1. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place: the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
At Genesis Diamonds, it's not just a new year, it's a new opportunity to bring you more choices, more value, more ways to celebrate your love. So we've expanded our selection of exquisite hand-picked diamonds from a half carat to 15 carats. All shapes, all sizes, all at our famous no middleman prices. We've also got lab-grown diamonds of the highest quality at prices way below what you see at other jewelers. We've also brought in even more exclusive designer jewelry, new cutting-edge, fashion-forward rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, things you can't find anywhere else. And of course, Genesis is proud to offer a truly spectacular collection of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. We have all the most popular models in stock. Is this the year you reward yourself with a premier name and timepieces? Come to Genesis in 2024 and let our non-commissioned experts help you celebrate those important milestones. We guarantee the best value, the highest quality, and the strongest warranties and guarantees in the jewelry industry. Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces.
It's the Start Something New sales event, and it's on now at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. Start your new year off in a new ride with 2023 Jeep Renegade. We Gossett at $24,990. How about a 2023 Grand Wagoneer 111 4x4, $10,000 off MSRP. Plus, get unparalleled power in a new 2022 Charger Scat Pack. Your time to get $10,000 off MSRP at Gossett on the Pike. And there's never been a better time than right now for 2023 Dodge Charger SXT. We Gossett only $29,990. So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett on the Pike or shop online at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
Renegade Triple P 56029 MSRP 30,040 Wagoneer PS 508,331 MSRP 112,285 Charger NH 251,172 MSRP 58,020 SXT PH 508,657 MSRP 35,930 includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
This holiday season, give the gift of Gould's with a Gould's gift card for someone you love. It's the perfect gift for everyone. The Gould's gift card doesn't just send wishes, it grants them in store and online. Just come to any Gould's and pick up a gift card or go to GouldSalonSpa.com to purchase online. That's GouldSalonSpa.com. Happy holidays from Gould's. Gould's Salon Spa, locally owned and operated since 1932.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 7:51, final segment here in Hour 1, talking with John Varlas from the Daily Memphian. You can follow him on Twitter at John Varlas. So the story comes out yesterday, not the first story involving a professional athlete and gambling, especially with the now legalized gambling that many states have. But this one is interesting. It's Kayshon Boutte, who was a former wide receiver stud at LSU, went to the New England Patriots in the draft, just played his rookie year. Well, he was arrested yesterday in Louisiana for using an alias to place 8,900 bets or so in a year, using, again, an underage. He's underage, so it's illegal, and using an alias. Although he did, for, I guess, his sign-in name and password, he used Kayshon Boutte and his number or whatever it was, Kayshon Boutte 7. But anyway, he makes all these bets, including bets on his former team while he was a player. John, he's in the NFL now, which, again, is against the rules. What are we talking about here?
Well, two things. Number one is I can't believe this isn't a bigger story because I please correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, but I thought I read somewhere yesterday where when he was at LSU, he was actually betting on his own totals in a game. So I think the over under on receiving yards was 82 yards or something, and he was betting that he would go over that.
Oh, geez.
I mean that seems highly problematic. Number one, so I don't understand why this isn't a bigger story. And number two, Greg, as you just alluded to, he clearly didn't major in rocket science or anything like that at LSU. His login name is, Kayshon catches passes, 6435 or whatever, so he's clearly, the guy's 8,900 bets, we're talking with Eli off the air, even if you're doing the live bet, that is a dead gum lot of betting. So I mean, dude, clearly he has maybe a problem with betting, and he has no control. And if you're betting on yourself and on your team, that's major red flag in all sports. I mean, that's the thing. They got it in sign in all the locker rooms. You can't bet. That's what they got Pete Rose on, right? You just simply can't bet on baseball. You certainly can't bet on your own team. Well, this is apparently what this kid was doing, and I'm afraid that. I'm afraid that this is not going to be the end. I mean, I'm afraid at some point we're going to see, a big scandal, a big problem with this.
Remember how big it was with Tulane? Do you remember years ago?
John Williams.
John Williams.
That basically scuttled his career for a long time.
And now, like you said, they're just going to he's going to get punished by the NFL. He's going to be suspended probably for a year. But the point is, LSU what's going to happen there when he played for LSU, gambling, like you said, on his totals. Now, if he was a quarterback, it'd even be worse because then you're maybe throwing to a certain receiver and all that. But, yeah, why is this so different than Pete Rose, or why is this so different than Williams or any of these other scandals?
You even go back to like the 50s and 60s. You know, there was that famous scandal with City College of New York. I think they won the NCAA championship and the NIT championship in the same year. And if I'm not mistaken, that had to be vacated on account of some gambling things. Then you look at, Connie Hawkins, the famous basketball player, he was essentially blackballed from the NBA for a long time.
Yes, he was.
Simply because he had an association with a gambler, not because he was necessarily did anything, but simply because he had, there was a tie there, some sort of association or connection. So, this is a serious thing. And like I said, I can foresee it with the amount of money being just as big as it is, only getting worse. I think this Boutte thing might be the tip of the iceberg, honestly.
Oh, there's going to be more scandals. No question about it.
It was it's 684 bets a month. Over that 13-month period, which is, that's just impressive. Like, I don't even know how you. Like,
you're looking at it from a positive.
Well, I honestly, I don't think it's as big a deal as you guys. I don't. If he's betting on it now, if he was betting on the under, I would worry about it more. Like, if he's like dropping passes because I can't have these yards, like I would.
Well, I used to say Pete Rose, if he was betting on his team to win, why is that a big deal?
But Pete Rose lied about it forever. If he would have come out and admitted it first, it probably would have been different.
Well,
he lied about it forever.
Who knows when they found out about
like,
this?
I don't care. I don't care that he did it underage. Like, who cares? Like,
jeez,
the underage stuff. That's the least of anything.
You're underage. That's fine. It's against the law. It's against the rules of the. Who cares? Here's
a little hint: 17 and 18-year-old and 19-year-old, 20-year-old people all over this country are drinking and gambling and doing a lot of different things they're not supposed to do. I don't care.
And guys with bowl haircuts do it as well.
It doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't care whatsoever about underage gambling. If he was 19 or 20, he's not an 8-year-old doing this.
You got a bone to pick with him because he sees it different than you and I.
That's a little bit less permissive than I would like to be. I understand where you're coming from, Eli, but I just think with the amount of money involved, it's just you're going to get to a point where the money is just going to be maybe too great to pass up for somebody, and maybe you drop a pass here or there. Look, if you guys,
how about when the high school kids start to do it, get the illegal accounts, underage accounts, and start to do stuff like that?
Well, and here's the thing, Greg, you spend a lot of time on social media. I know just perusing, and I don't know, Eli, how much time you're on there. There's already a perception among a significant amount of sports fans that the NFL is fixed, that the NBA is rigged, every time.
Oh yeah,
but so you can't have these kind of perceptions out there if you're going to have a viable sports league, and
yes,
but then there's all these things that happen that make these people go, well, maybe it's true. It's just too much, and then with gambling companies,
I'm with you.
Every other commercial is either a gambling ad or a sexual enhancement ad. I don't know, man. I can't even watch TV anymore, honestly.
And I do, certainly I know there's a lot of people, there's one that works here who thinks everything's rigged. But again, find me the ones who are betting against their team or against themselves, and then I might be a little bit more concerned about it. But we don't have that.
Do we know every bet he made?
No, they do. They've got it, obviously.
So it hasn't come out, so I guess he didn't bet against LSU?
They said there was only 6 bets involving LSU out of the 8,900, so it's not like he bet 5,000 of bets on LSU. There was only 6 of them. I don't know what they all were, but I would assume, again, like if you have evidence that he bet against LSU or he bet himself under an amount of catches or under yardage, then I'd be like, oh, that's a real problem because that's clearly. But if you're betting like the idea that you're going to go over yardage, he can't affect, like he doesn't get to do anything different as far as that is concerned.
Fair enough. But again, that's why I said with Rose, he bet against Cincinnati, right? Because if he bet for Cincinnati, I don't understand. You're going to make all the moves that you would normally make.
And the thing is, with those old situations, they don't have all of, because it was illegal gambling to begin with.
Right.
So you like this, he has the account. You can go into the account and look at every bet he's ever made.
But this is illegal. Why he got arrested was because he was underage. It was illegal betting in the sense that he was underage and should not have had an account.
And he wasn't even a very good gambler, because I think I saw where I'm using round numbers here. I think I saw where he started off with like 127 and got up to like 550, but then he ended up cashing out at around 50, so 50,000.
Yeah, he's down money.
That's actually 8,900 bets. Most people are going to lose a bunch of money. They'll come out net negative.
Just in.
Like, that's how gambling works.
Yeah, gambling's going to lose more than you win.
He's not the first guy who's got up money and then lost it all back.
John, I know things are heating up with high school basketball, girls, boys, and all the rest of the spring sports. Of course, John will have you covered at the Daily Memphian. Read all his great stories there. Follow him on Twitter at John Barlas. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Thanks, guys. We got a cool story publishing later today about Tyler Jones from Hutchinson, a really good basketball player who spent 16 months on the shelf with a major knee injury, and she's back and better than ever. Really good story. So check that out. And thank you guys for having me. We're still friends, right, Greg?
We're always going to be friends. All right, that'll do it for us with John.
Eli, I got a bone to
pick. You guys are frenemies or whatever. Eli, Ace Hardware, first hour sponsor. East Memphis Ace Hardware, first hour sponsor. Sports 56 Mornings.
That's right. So East Memphis Ace Hardware, corner of White Station and Quince is where you'll find them. That's where you'll find everything you need for any project around the home. It's where you'll find the big green egg and all the accessories as well. And it's certainly where you'll find a great staff to help you find whatever it is you are looking for. East Memphis Ace Hardware, corner of White Station and Quince.
Hour 2 on the way. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's a new year, and Family Leisure has a new way to bring family and fun together. All you have to do is walk into Family Leisure and look around. All those floor model patio sets you see, those have got to go, so Family Leisure can make room for all the new sets coming. Get a wicker sofa set for under $2,000. Pool tables under $1,500. Theater seating for under $2,000. Hot tubs for $4,000 or just for yourself. If you really want to lounge, they're under $5,000. Need patio cushions? Get them as low as $25. Oh, have you seen those infrared steam saunas? Well, now they and the traditional saunas are 25% off. It may just be the first few weeks of 2024, but that doesn't mean you can't start getting ready for summer. 2 final things. Purchase your above-ground pool now and get first in line for installation, and take advantage of special financing that's available. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, bringing the family and the fun back together.
Hey y'all, it's the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, January 26th through the 28th at the Agri Center. Come buy your new boat and make some memories at the lake this summer with family and friends. Premier dealers showcasing the newest ski boats, pontoons, fishing boats with huge show specials. Enter your chance to win daily door prizes. It's all at the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, January 26th through the 28th. For more info, go to memphisboatshow.com. That's memphisboatshow.com.
At the Agri Center.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21,590, Sorrento PG 242,710, MSRP 33,010, Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38,705, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license, see dealer for complete details, offer valid through 1/31/2024 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, Happy New Year, dude. Hey, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
Let's start the new year off right in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway 2024 Kia Forte LXS $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Got a big family? Get a 2023 Kia Sorrento LX $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. Plus a 2024 Kia Telluride LX $449 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36 months lease.
And every Gossett Kia comes with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
And stop by and see the all-new EV9 all-electric SUV. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMTMoriah.com.
Is your home still not warm enough or running out of hot water? Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing, and we've got exciting news for you. Introducing Choate's Carrier Repair Buyback Program. If you've had HVAC or water heater repairs in the past year, you're in luck. Choate's will credit your repair costs up to $1,500 with a brand new HVAC or tankless water heater system. Yep, you heard right. Just bring your repair invoice from the last 365 days and get ready to upgrade your home's comfort. Say goodbye to those chilly nights and inconsistent heating. Choate's has you covered with various low-payment financing plans, making your upgrade more affordable than ever. Imagine a more efficient and reliable system keeping your family cozy all winter long. And here's the best part. This offer is a substantial boost towards a state-of-the-art heating solution. Ready to take the next step? Schedule your free estimate by calling 347-8086 And remember, turn to the experts with Choates and let our family serve your family.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos and enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show. Right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Sports 56 traffic brought to you by Curfew.
Enjoy the ultimate dining experience at Curfew with specials every night. Mississippi Monday, Tuesday Ladies Night, Wing Wednesday, and Thursday Hotel Guest Appreciation Day. Curfew American Tavern Craft Cocktails, your new destination. 164 Union Avenue, main floor of the Canopy Hotel.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Starting to build pretty good up through the Midtown area as we check it out live on 240 North here at Lamar, working your way up towards Union. We've had a couple of wrecks out here in the last 15, 20 minutes. It's really building now on 40 going westbound from Germantown Parkway all the way up to Sycamore View Road. 385 is just now starting to pick up as you make your way towards 240 coming in from Collierville. Weimer's Jewelry located 7525. Highway 64 is your Valentine's Day headquarters. Go see them this weekend and shop local. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Oh, yeah. Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:07 the time. Hour 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Friday, January 26th, 2024 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. The second hour of the program is brought to you each and every day by our friends at James Gaddis Jewelers. Every Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know former Memphis Tiger Kendrick Davis went off last night in a game for the Santa Cruz Warriors, the G League affiliate of the Golden State Warriors. Coming off, by the way, in a 16-assist game. Last night, Kendrick Davis scored 33 points, added 6 assists, hauled down 4 rebounds, had 3 steals in the Warriors win over, who was it again?
The Austin Spurs.
The Austin Spurs. And by the way, Eli tells me that Kendrick Davis and the Santa Cruz Warriors will be in South Haven both tomorrow night and Monday to take on the Memphis Hustle. So he'll be on the call of those games, but your chance to go see Kendrick Davis back in the area. Great performance by KD.
He is in the regular season averaging just a tick under 20 points, just over 7 assists. He's playing very, very well.
Lester Quinones, though, is up with the Golden State Warriors, and they'll be here in Memphis sooner than later. He was here the last time they were here. So right now I think he's up with the team, so probably not in South Haven, but you never know. Another former Tiger in Lester Quinones. James Gaddis Jewelers, second hour sponsor, Sports 56 Mornings, 4900 Poplar, between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. They're your bridal engagement and anniversary jeweler headquarters. Obviously, we have the Valentine's Day situation just a couple of weeks away, looking at, 19 days? And you're going to want to get something beautiful for that loved one in your life. So make sure James Gaddis Jewelers is one of the places that you head on over to. Obviously, you can get the flowers, you can get the chocolates and all that stuff. But you want something special, get jewelry, watches, diamond, rings of all types, earrings, necklaces, pendants, bracelets. Check it out at James Gaddis Jewelers. And again, today we're looking at 51 degrees, cloudy skies. Today's high will be 61, chance of rain at about 50%. Tonight, also a chance of rain. It lowers to 40%. We got a low of 46 degrees this evening. All right, we're going to talk Tigers basketball coming up in about 15 minutes or so. Matt Dillon will join us for the Tiger Basketball Report. We kind of threw around a lot of different topics with John, and then before John was on, we were talking about the situation in the NBA. The Grizzlies tonight in action hosting the Orlando Magic. The All-Star starters were announced yesterday in the NBA. And then, of course, in the NFL, coaching moves, including Raheem Morris getting the job in Atlanta. A surprise to many that it wasn't Bill Belichick. Dave Canales looks like the guy that the Panthers are going to turn to, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator. That means Seattle is open and Washington is open as the two remaining head coaching vacancies. Dan Quinn, I would think, is the leading candidate for Seattle. He's already interviewed twice. I have no idea what Washington wants to do.
Washington seems to be interviewing a lot of people, too.
A lot of coordinators.
I don't know what direction they're going to go. Obviously, you've got some high-level candidates who are involved in the championship games this week. Mainly the Lions coordinators, but also the defensive coordinator for Baltimore, who's high on a lot of these lists. So that may be the delay in some of this as they're waiting for those guys. But yeah, and it seems as though with all the talk, it feels like Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Lions, would end up with one of these jobs. But again, you're down to two now, so he's running out of time to get one of them.
I did want to bring this up before we dive into one of the topics I told everybody we're going to talk about, Patrick Mahomes. But this was just shockingly sad news yesterday in our community, especially in the broadcasting/journalism community that we are all involved in. But Amanda Hansen, the news of her passing, just startling at her young age, was a beloved journalist, Memphian, and part of the Action News 5 team since 2021, behind the Action News 5 digital desk. She was just 38 years of age.
Yeah, it was awful. I actually just ran into her downtown. It was right before Christmas. It was actually the day of the Memphis-Clemson game, if I remember correctly. And I had not seen her in a couple of years, and got a chance to just catch up with her, talk with her, see what was going on, everything else. Sat there and had a good time, met her husband, all that stuff. They had just got married, and then I had to see that news. That blew me away. That is 38 years old. Man, oh man, that's just awful.
Lovely young woman, and certainly we send out our condolences to her husband, her family, her friends. Sad news. All right, Pat Mahomes. He is in a groove again, as he usually is in the postseason. He is going into this game against Baltimore. If he doesn't turn the ball over, that will be 6 straight postseason games that he hasn't had a turnover. This season, and we talked yesterday with Soren Petro, who covers the Chiefs in Kansas City, that some of the issues, and when I say issues, not a ton of issues, but when you look at the overall numbers, maybe not as strong as they usually are for Mahomes, especially when you look at the candidates for MVP. There's 5 names, and none of the names say Patrick Mahomes. But a lot of that had to do with his receiving core, holding on the balls, things of that nature. But in the postseason, this guy has been stellar. 2 Super Bowl championships. He is on the trajectory, again, the trajectory to possibly be the GOAT, at least the GOAT of quarterbacks, to actually one day surpass Tom Brady. But let's slow down. There is a long way to go. Tom Brady hasn't been gone that long, 1 season, and people, I don't know if they're forgetting what he did, but 7 Super Bowl wins, 6 with New England, then going to Tampa Bay and winning 1. Tom Brady's the GOAT of quarterbacks. Some say the GOAT of all players. I say quarterbacks. But Pat Mahomes, where is he? Where is he on the list right now? When you look at the great quarterbacks, we think of Peyton Manning. We think of Drew Brees, Johnny Unitas, Joe Montana, John Elway, Dan Marino, Troy Aikman, just throwing them off the top of my head. Obviously, a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Where is Pat Mahomes now on that list? Zach, you want to dive into this thing? How high do we put him? Because I got him really, really high on that list.
Well, again, I mean, trying to rank, especially quarterbacks, but any position in the NFL is hard because the game continues to evolve and change, and passing numbers today are way different than what they were 10 years ago, especially 20 years ago. And then if you want to get further back than that, then it's ridiculous how different they are today compared to those guys. So I mean, some people may say, like, I believe Patrick Mahomes plays the quarterback position better than anybody's ever played it. I have no problem with that. That's fine. He doesn't have to win all the titles. It's the same thing. Like Tiger Woods, I thought Tiger Woods was the greatest golfer of all time when he had probably 5 or 6 majors. It is like he played the game better than anybody I'd ever seen play it. And so you could say he hasn't accomplished all of the things that Tom Brady has. But somebody that says, I just believe he plays the position better than anybody's played it, I have no problem with that.
Well, you and I still debate Tiger Woods because I still put Jack up there. Jack has the most runner-up finishes as well as the most wins and the most majors. But you could certainly make that argument because of everything else that went into Tiger Woods, what he did to change the game. Patrick Mahomes isn't changing the game. He's doing things that a lot of quarterbacks are doing now. They're winning with their legs as well. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, just to name a few. I am not going to take away from a quarterback that was basically a pocket passer. Tom Brady was not known for his scrambling ability. He was known for being able to deliver the ball fast and accurate. I don't even know what his career totals are rushing-wise. Let me see. I'm going to look it up here. He has career 1,123 rushing yards. I don't know. Can you look up Pat Mahomes, what he has? I mean, I'm sure it's, and then Lamar Jackson, guys like that. But I'm not taking away from a quarterback that's more a pocket passer than a multi-dimensional quarterback. Tom Brady, I don't think you can argue. What you just said, I think, is accurate. He is more, he can keep plays alive longer than Tom Brady could. He can make the most sensational plays from the most dire situations. He is spectacular to watch because of what he brings to the table. He's won 2 Super Bowl titles. He's been to how many now? 3? Tom Brady won 7, man. So I'm sorry. I think you would lose that debate if we had the old debate club. But it doesn't mean that he won't eventually be that guy. And right now, I have to put right now Pat Mahomes in my top 5 of all time. All time, right now. He's not retiring this year. You find that, Zach?
Mahomes, he has 219 touchdowns so far in his career.
What's he got rushing yardage? It's got to be like just unreal yardage. And Lamar's got more, I would think. Well, maybe
Lamar's got way more. Patrick Mahomes, not even close.
I'm comparing Patrick Mahomes. I know Lamar's got way more, but Patrick Mahomes to Tom Brady? Tom Brady played a long time at 1,123 yards.
Rushing yards, Mahomes is at 1,936 yards.
For his career?
And 12 touchdowns.
Okay, so the touchdowns you gave at first with passing touchdowns.
Yeah, the first set of numbers were the passing.
Yeah, so okay, yeah, I just care about the rushing right now. So it's okay. Yeah, so it's only 1,900 and something career yardage rushing. So it's not as much as I thought, but he's got a ways to go.
He doesn't. I think he doesn't run. Like,
he scrambles.
He keeps plays alive.
Yeah,
and
he
throws
scrambles.
these sidearm passes stuff like that. But that's like Lamar and him and Josh Allen. Like, he's not even close to Josh Allen and Lamar in rushing.
But again, compared to Tom Brady, he does more with his legs. My point was that Tom Brady sometimes is criticized because he's only a pocket passer, that you have to be, for some reason, multidimensional, that you have Jaden Daniels, the numbers he put up, right? The numbers passing-wise, Penix was as good. There were a couple other guys who were as good passing-wise, but it's because he was able to run. He was able to do what Williams is able to do, what Justin Fields can do, what Kyler Murray can do, obviously what Lamar can do. That's what the quarterbacks of today look like. They look Josh Allen. They look more like guys that can beat you with their legs because they can, as well as beat you with the arm. I don't take away anything from the traditional pocket passers. John Elway could run, but the Dan Marinos, the Johnny U's, the Joe Montanas, Steve Young could run, but I don't give them the nod just because they could do that. I'm looking more at what they've accomplished, how accurate passers they were. Obviously, numbers have to come into play. Championships, all that matter. Well, to me, there's still Tom Brady's well above everybody else. You have Peyton Manning. You have Joe Montana. Me, I go old school still with Johnny U and Mahomes. That's my 5 right now. I would have after that everybody else, the Troy Aikmans of the world, the John Elways of the world, Dan Marinos, Steve Youngs, on and on and on. They're great, 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 great quarterbacks. Even Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees would be behind Pat Mahomes. So I got Mahomes as a top 5 quarterback of all time. Now, there are people out there that it's ludicrous that they're saying he's the GOAT now. Be quiet. We use the term GOAT too loosely. We throw it out there and not think about the total picture. Right? And again, it's subjective. I understand that. But this isn't a Tiger versus Jack Nicklaus debate, even though you were early in the Tiger debate. He changed the whole game. Pat Mahomes hasn't changed the whole game, but Pat Mahomes has been incredible. That's why I think Kansas City can go into Baltimore and win this game. And I think they will go into Baltimore as well as Baltimore's playing and win this game because of that guy.
He certainly gives you a chance every time. I don't think they will win this game, but it's not going to surprise me if they do because of him. Like he gives you a great opportunity to win every game because he, especially in the postseason, again, he hasn't lost much in the postseason. He gives you a chance certainly every time you take the field in the postseason. He generally plays really, really well.
And on the flip side with Lamar Jackson's still pretty young. But if he can get there and win it all, then he at least gets into the conversation. Not for the top 5, not even the top 10, but he gets into that conversation of the great quarterbacks of all time. He makes that. He needs to be. He needs to win. He needs to have that championship. And there's certainly that possibility that it can be done. He has still many years to get it done, and he has been impressive to say the least. But Pat Mahomes, to me, right now, top 5 quarterback of all time.
Jackson he up until this year, the postseason, has not been good. He was good last week. If he can string together good performance, and certainly if he wins a championship, and once you've put a championship with multiple MVPs, you put yourself in a whole different stratosphere because there aren't many guys who have done that. Mahomes is already there, a Super Bowl championship. He's going to win the MVP this year. So a Super Bowl championship would put Lamar Jackson into that very elite club.
Yeah, and then if you eventually get multiple, then you're in another club altogether. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, they're in a club by themselves. Great, great barbecue for 40 years, basically 40 years here in the Memphis area. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue have been serving up that delicious Q, whether it be the pulled pork, whether it be the barbecue ribs, the barbecue nachos, absolutely out of this world. They're located at Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Party packs start at just $7.49. They have lunch specials every day. You can add a third of a rack of ribs for just $6.99. When you purchase an entree, the barbecue sandwich, the ribs, maybe you want to go outside the barbecue family, grab the award-winning catfish plate. I'm not a big catfish guy, but most people are, and they love the catfish at Corky's. I've had their tamales, I've had their burgers, I've had their desserts. It's all absolutely outstanding. And if you want an event catered, anything that's coming up here in the spring and the summer that you could think of, and you're thinking about food, what do we want to do? Think Corky's. Just contact them about their catering services. You can also reserve their private party room at either the Cordova or the Olive Branch locations. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. When we come back, we're talking Tigers basketball, the Tiger Basketball Report with the professor, Matt Dillon. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all. The collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the new Callaway AI Smoke Driver. The new AI Design Club has multiple sweet spots across the face, making it an average of 7 yards longer than the prior model. Visit us in store for a free custom fitting at your local Edwin Watts Golf Shops or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Let's make this the new year to drive your new Kia home from Gossett Kia on the Pike. Bobby J's waiting to put you in a new Kia today. So come hit the road with 41 MPG Highway and 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Or get 7 passenger seating in a 2023 Kia Sorento LX. We Gossett at $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And if you want your new ride to be a 2024 Kia Telluride LX, we Gossett at $449 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease plus Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Kia today, 1900 Covington Pike. Online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee. Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21,590. Sorrento PG 242-710, MSRP 33,010. Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38,705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/31/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
The holidays are over and everyone has that little bit of Christmas money they didn't have a month ago. And studies have shown the best way to spend money you did nothing to earn is to do something extravagant, like taking yourself and others, if necessary, to 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination. Meemaw may not have intended that crisp Benjamin to go to having the best steak of your life, but she didn't specify what it should be spent on, did she? Go ahead. Feel all warm and fuzzy knowing that somebody else is footing the bill for 117 Prime.
Hey y'all, it's the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, January 26th through the 28th at the Agri Center. Come buy your new boat and make some memories at the lake this summer with family and friends. Premier dealers showcasing the newest ski boats, pontoons, fishing boats with huge show specials. Enter your chance to win daily door prizes. It's all at the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, January 26th through the 28th. For more info, go to memphisboatshow.com. That's memphisboatshow.com.
At the Agri Center.
All 650 acquisition fee. Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21,590. Sorrento PG 242-710, MSRP 33,010. Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38,705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/31/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, Happy New Year, dude. Hey, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
Let's start the new year off right in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Got a big family? Get a 2023 Kia Sorento LX, $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. Plus a 2024 Kia Telluride LX, $449 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36 months lease.
And every Gossett Kia comes with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
And stop by and see the all-new EV9 all-electric SUV. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMTMoriah.com.
Sports 56 traffic brought to you by Curfew.
Enjoy the ultimate dining experience at Curfew with specials every night. Mississippi Monday, Tuesday Ladies Night, Wing Wednesday, and Thursday Hotel Guest Appreciation Day. Curfew American Tavern Craft Cocktails, your new destination. 164 Union Avenue, main floor of the Canopy Hotel.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning, MPD's out here with a couple of accidents. Just busy over here on 240 east and westbound around Walnut Grove and Poplar as traffic picks up even more with volume there on 40 westbound from Sycamore View Road all the way up to that 240 flyover. Some of that traffic is getting off onto Sam Cooper. It's looking pretty good right now here up through the Midtown area on 240 up by Lamar. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, they're located 7525 Highway 64. They want you to know they are your Valentine's Day headquarters. Go see them this weekend and shop local. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:30 the time. We're halfway home on this Friday edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Looking ahead to Sunday. Sunday's going to be a fun sports day. You got the AFC and NFC championship games. The Grizzlies will be in action on Sunday at Indiana. And the Memphis Tigers return to action in Birmingham against UAB. That old rivalry rekindled. Tough place to play at Bartow Arena. Pretty much rabid fans, and Memphis will go in with a 2-game losing streak. We are going to talk about their prospects this week in practice, what's going on with the Tigers, with the professor, Matt Dillon. Time for the Tiger Basketball Report.
It's time to talk Tiger hoops. It's the Tiger Basketball Report with Tigers radio analyst Matt Dillon. The Tiger Basketball Report is brought to you by Central Barbecue, La Guadalupana, Car Corner on Mount Moriah, Dave & Buster's, Coletta's, Ben Schwanger Glass, and Los Cabos on Summer Avenue. Now, here's Matt Dillon with Greg and Eli.
He is the professor. He's Matt Dillon, Tigers basketball radio analyst, and the host of the Tiger Basketball Report with us each and every Friday during the Tiger Hoop season. Matt, how are you?
Guys, actually, I'm battling a sinus infection, so my voice is a little bit different. I'm kind of like one of those 1950 TV booth announcers in Hollywood. I've got this big, deep voice and everything. So
sounds good. You're the only one who can get sick, and you already had a great voice, but it sounds fantastic. All right, so are we exaggerating the problems with the Tigers? I mean, is the sky falling, or is it just a couple of little bumps in the road?
I don't think the sky's falling, obviously, because you got a lot of talent on this team, Greg, to start with. But I think a couple of things Coach Hardaway was talking about is defense, and I just didn't think the defensive intensity has been there for much of this year, and I think it's something, certainly with a week off, that they went in and kind of got things together and talked about that, because, you know, they're a club that has thrived on turnovers and turning everybody over and getting easy baskets, and they really have not been able to do that as much this year, and I think that's something that he certainly pointed at. And again, I think the second thing is moving the ball on the offensive side. You know, Jones takes a lot of shots, so sometimes the ball doesn't swing 2 or 3 times, and it stops with him. Great scorer. You know, I'm not saying anything about that, but I think offensively they want to kind of, you know, move the ball and get some continuity. They've gotten sometimes where people are standing around watching Jones a little bit at times, and I think that's something that you have to get away from. Quinterly down in New Orleans, very subpar game for him, really, I think, especially in the second half. Had 6 assists, but just didn't seem in sync. And as I've told you guys before, you know, kind of how he goes to that point guard position. If he's really good, the Tigers are really good. And when he struggles, it's kind of a difficult situation for the Tigers to get wins a lot of times. But the thing that's really puzzling me is about this league. Who thought that Charlotte would be tied for first place right now?
Right.
They picked 13th in the preseason. I mean, you know, they beat Florida Atlantic. That's the first win over a ranked team since 2013. What has happened to the 49ers, man? Are they getting a double dose of something? I don't know.
Cornbread Maxwell's playing for him, Matt.
It's the year of the 49ers. It could just be the overall year if you're 49ers.
I guess so. So, you know, fortunately, you got them coming at home. But you know, I think the big thing, and we need to talk about as well, is the next 5 games. Now, you get past, you know, Birmingham and UAB, boy, you're playing 4 teams in a row that you should be able to take care of business. So that should kind of right things and get the streak back going. Because look at the nets of some of these teams for the next 5 are just, I mean, you can't lose any of them. You've got to win every one of these games, basically.
That's great, except for that you can look at some of the nets of the teams they've already played, and they've either struggled or lost to them.
They really had. You know, and Eli, what's interesting, they're playing the bottom 3 teams in this next 5-game stretch after UAB. You got the bottom 3 teams in the league. So you should be able to take care of business. You know, Wichita, representative team, you got them at home, but, you know, and Rice is another team that's just, 237 in the net today. That's pretty high tempo at 242. So they should be able to make some hay. But again, you got to get this thing corrected and get it righted and get everybody on the same page. And you know, it's a question that we talked and asked about with each other. You know, can you mesh all these guys in together with all these newcomers? Will they all play together? And you know, you up and down in a team in the arc of a season. You know, you go through great stretches and teams go through stretches that are not so great. And right now, not everybody's on the same page. And I think this week off has really helped this team probably to focus and get back to what they were doing earlier in the year.
The Tiger Basketball Report brought to you by Central Barbecue, La Guadalupana, Ben Swinger Glass, Dave and Buster's, Los Cabos, Car Corner on Mount Moriah, and Coletta's. I know this week it had the Jaden Hardaway has become a talking point, and Penny, I guess, was asked about it yesterday in his media availability. And he talked about how Jaden is their, what do you say, their most solid player, I believe it is, and all of these things. And listen, the 28 minutes is one thing that he played the other day. I don't think he should play that many minutes, but whatever. My big issue with the game against Tulane is he took the second most field goal attempts on the team. That, to me, should not happen. Like, if he's going to, he could do the other little things, but he can't be shooting the second most field goal attempts on this team.
Yeah, it's very surprising to me as well. You're right. He took more than Quinterly and everybody else, too, besides Jones. A little bit of a surprise. I don't know if he was trying to force things and do too much. You know, fundamentally, he's a pretty good player, but he's not a guy that's going to go out, most of the time and just score a bunch of points. He's a rebounder, and a guy that tries to play some defense and do some things. But a lot of minutes for him, that's a situation where he's playing a lot of minutes where he doesn't normally do that. But really, 2 of 7 from the field, Eli. That is a lot of shots, and certainly I think he was forcing the other day and trying to do too much, and I think he kind of felt it a little bit because a lot of guys were not playing great. You had Jourdain, who had a very subpar game. He wasn't 100%. It's kind of 2 games in a row for him where he's struggled a little bit. Of course, Jones is, he took 24 of the 60 shots the other day, and that's a tremendous amount. I almost had to do it. And the thing about him, when he's taking that many shots and having to score that much defensively, he's just not a guy that's going to really stop a lot of people defensively. It's not a knock on him, but he takes so much energy on the offensive side. Sometimes it's hard to defend it, in the proper manner. He had 3 turnovers and gave it all he had, no question about it. But again, Hardaway, 7 shots. I was a little bit surprised that he took that many the other day as well.
I mean, he shoots 38% overall and 20% from 3-point range. Like, the thing, if he's going to be out on the floor, and again, with Walton out and Tomlin out, like, you may have said, okay, we need him out on the floor. He's got to understand, like, when you're out on the floor, you're not out there to shoot the ball. You do those other little things that you're supposed to do. But like that, he had that driving shot at the end where he like threw it well over the rim, like wasn't even close on basically a layup. I mean, you have to understand you're open for a reason. Don't fall into their trap.
Absolutely, and once you miss a couple, you start pressing and you start taking some more as well. But Quinterly was 6 shots, Eli, in almost 38 minutes is not nearly enough.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You got to have him involved in the offense, and let's be frank about it. Walton not playing in the second half certainly hurt him. Had a great first half, 3 or 4 from 3. Played good basketball. He just couldn't go in the second half. So again, that forces a situation. You got to go to the bench to get somebody involved in it. And I think another thing as well is Tomlin still is learning his way around the court. I mean, he had 7 rebounds in the game, but offensively he's a little out of sync at times. I'm not sure he knows all of it yet. Defensively, he's learning how to play with other guys, switching and doing things. So it's a process for him as well. And again, you got to get back, to the fact that he's only been here a short period of time. And these guys, really came a short period of time, Greg and Eli. They weren't here all summer. They came in, near the start of the semester. Some of them, weren't here to it's almost like introduce themselves in the fall, and they played pretty well early. But, sometimes, guys, things change during the middle of the year. Everybody's getting back on the same page. Dandridge is good game the other day for him, 13-8. You know, the thing with Brown leaving and coming back, you know, that's incorporated in now. You got to kind of get him back in the groove with this lineup, but you got to get a 7 or 8 man rotation to get ready for that tournament. You know, the conference tournament, NCAA. That's what you're really shooting for. You got to get that rotation down. It's still kind of in flux a little bit. We'll see how the Tigers progress that way. But I want to see them play better defense. I think, especially in the second half, they just never got the stops they needed. When Tulane needed big baskets, they were able to come through with one.
Well, you're right, and we're on the same page because that's the problem area, and Penny has always hung his hat on defense. But I think the loss of Caleb Mills is hurting this team much more than first thought.
Absolutely, no question. He played multiple positions, good defender. You couldn't even put him at the 1 for short periods of time. They are really missing his leadership. He's kind of an unsung guy. You don't realize what he did for you until he's not there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, big shoes to fill. You know, he'd been in that system. Houston, played at Florida State. You know, very seasoned guy. He'd been through a lot. Very calm. Kind of settled things down when they needed to. And yeah, he's really being missed. There's no question about it. And you know, we talked about injuries. You never know during the year. 1 or 2 injuries can change a team, and certainly this can change complexion of a team, and it has the Tigers a little bit with his loss.
So UAB, while they did take some bad losses early, in conference play, their only losses are road games at Florida Atlantic, at Charlotte. You talked about Charlotte, what they're doing, but they've beaten UTSA, who we know the Tigers struggle with. They've beaten South Florida, who the Tigers lost to. They've beaten Tulane, who the Tigers lost to. All those on their home floor. Really good offensive rebounding team, which can spell trouble for Memphis. They're not a great defensive team by any measure. No. But what do you see in this matchup?
Well, I think the pace is going to be slower. I think Andy Kennedy realizes that if he tries to run with this team, it's going to be very difficult. They're just not that kind of team. They're kind of a lumbering team. They got big guys on the front line. And, boy, you're right, Eli. The offensive rebound, they're number 1 in the league in offensive rebounding. That's been a problem for the Tigers at times. That's something that's going to have to be corrected on Sunday down in Birmingham. No second-chance points. They're not a good shooting team either. That's the thing. They're not a team that's going to blister you from outside, but they drive the ball. They go to the free throw line. It's something they do pretty well. And they've got those guys in there that rebound, and they try to keep this thing alive. But the thing about them, you know, can they go the distance 40 minutes? They play pretty good basketball, but I don't know if they got the depth to stay with the Tigers. But they're going to try to slow this thing down. You're going to see some combination zones, maybe a little bit of man-to-man. You see more zone action from him. He played it a lot when he's at Ole Miss. He can play slow. He had that kind of, you know, team down there really kind of playing slow this year as well. The only reason they've scored probably as much as they have, that their early schedule was not very difficult, and they kind of got some scores against teams like that. But they do go to the free throw line, second most attempts and second most made free throws in the league. So you can't foul them and put them on the free throw line. 18 free throws made per game, which is second in American. So that's a pretty good statistic for them right there.
Yep. And the Tigers have gotten away from getting to the free throw line. They were doing that a lot earlier in the season. They need to get back to the free throw line where they're actually a pretty good free throw shooting team. It's going to be a battle. It's the old rivalry rekindled, and of course Matt will be there as part of the broadcast team with Dave Woloshin calling the game on the Tigers Radio Network. Matt, as always, thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay. Thanks, guys. It's the next 5-game stretch. You got to run the table. Very, very important games coming up.
Thank you, Matt.
UAB is number 28 in the country when it comes to offensive rebounding. They rebound over 35% of their misses. He mentioned the free throw shooting. They're in the top 20 in the nation in free throw percent, getting to the free throw line as often as they do. They do not shoot threes. They don't make them, so they don't take them. They're one of they're like bottom 40 in the country as far as 3-point attempts, the percentage of their field goal attempts that are from 3-point range. They want to drive, get to the rim, draw fouls, and score that way. They know they are not a good 3-point shooting team.
Well, you know, with AK's teams, they're always going to be fundamentally sound. So they're going to be in the right position to rebound. They're going to get offensive rebounds. They're going to defend well. That's a Kennedy, and they're going to play hard-nosed basketball. That's a Kennedy-type team.
Yeah, no doubt. And he will do a good job. And again, he'll have them ready to play. Again, and they've in conference play at home. They've been good so far. They took some bad losses early in their schedule, but they've over the last the only 2 losses they have since mid-December are the Florida Atlantic game and then the Charlotte game in their last one. But early in the season, they lost to Clemson by 1. So they played Clemson very close on a neutral court as well. So it's a team that certainly has the ability to beat the Tigers. The Tigers go down there and don't play well. Certainly this is another game that they could lose. Tiger Basketball Report brought to you by Coletta's, Los Cabos on Summer Avenue, Car Corner on Mount Moriah, Ben Swanger Glass, Dave & Buster's, Central Barbecue, and La Guadalupana.
All right, a little bit more on Tigers basketball when we return. Hour number 3, we will break down the AFC-NFC Championship games with the master handicapper extraordinaire Brandon Lang. We got 10 in a row still to go. The game show that has swept the nation. And hit us up on the Sports 56 listener lines by texting it at 901-360-8255. You're tuned into Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
At Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike, new inventory is arriving daily, and we've got what you've been looking for to start the new year off right. Get off to a great year in your award-winning 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander. $329 a month, or buy it for $29,910. Take a spin in your new 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. $29,445, or lease for $449 a month. How about 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV? 420 total range MPGe, you own it for $649 a month. Plus, no worries with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it? We Gossett at Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or online anytime, memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
PHEV PZ062,303, MSRP 44,355. Sport RU 001136, MSRP 28,000. Eclipse RZO 12051, MSRP 31,700. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text JUDGE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 42424. That's JUDGE to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Let's make this the new year to drive your new Kia home from Gossett Kia on the Pike. Bobby J's waiting to put you in a new Kia today. So come hit the road with 41 MPG Highway in 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Or get 7 passenger seating in a 2023 Kia Sorento LX. We Gossett at $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And if you want your new ride to be a 2024 Kia Telluride LX, we Gossett at $449 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease plus Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Kia today, 1900 Covington Pike. Online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee. Forte RE 722.812 MSRP 21,590. Sorrento PG 242.710 MSRP 33,010. Telluride RG 4628.22 MSRP 38,705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/31/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Matt Dillon was talking to us about the upcoming schedule and that the Tigers will play a bunch of the teams that are at the bottom of the conference. But forget about the numbers. As we've talked about before with UTSA, they're in the net, around 260? They played Memphis to an overtime game. Could have easily won, did not. They played Florida Atlantic to an overtime game, had the lead. Late in that overtime, lost that one, and then beat Tulane the other day. Look, by no stretch of the imagination am I saying this is a good conference. It is not a good conference. You got what should be two teams in Memphis and Florida Atlantic that are really good, and then others, some are better than others. Some are probably better than what was predicted in the preseason. You had the 6 newcomers. So, no, it's not a good conference, and you're hurt when you lose a game in conference, especially when you lose a home game. But there are certainly teams that are capable. And I'm just looking at the rest of the schedule. Can the Tigers actually, let's say they split the 2 with Florida Atlantic, right? Can they win everything else? The way they're playing right now, with the questions about chemistry, with the questions about their defense, especially their perimeter defense and guarding the 3, at UAB, probably be a tussle, right? Most of the Tigers' games are coming down to the wire. Rice at home, they should take care of business against them. FedEx Forum for Wichita State. Again, they beat them with a big second half at Wichita. I would think that one is one they'll win. They'll win in Philly, I think, against Temple, although Temple always plays that physical, slow-down style, which is contrast of the Tigers. Tulane, you play them at the Forum, so you get the revenge game. The North Texas game in Denton, they just beat, as I said earlier, SMU last night. Could be a tough one. At SMU, we know how tough that was the first time around in Memphis. Charlotte plays great at home. They've won 6 straight overall, but you get them at FedEx Forum doesn't mean it won't be a close game. Then at Florida Atlantic, at East Carolina, UAB at home, the return game, and then Florida Atlantic in Boca. You're telling me there's not another loss aside from possibly splitting with Florida Atlantic, which would be at least 2 more losses?
Well, they probably will, just because of that, but they shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't on paper, but they shouldn't have lost to South Florida, and they shouldn't have lost to Tulane, but they did. And that's 3 straight years losing in New Orleans. I'm just thinking ahead, if they lose another game and then lose 1 to Florida Atlantic, where does that put them? It depends on everything else that's going on, obviously, around the country. And you would get that third opportunity. Hopefully you'll get that third opportunity if that's the way it all comes down to Florida Atlantic and Memphis. Nobody in their right mind could have thought that any other teams beside Memphis and Florida Atlantic would be in the conference championship game. But that's still to be determined. They'll play a tournament, and you'll have 2 teams that'll make it to the final. And for the Tigers' sake, better be them. But it's going to be hard to run the table, and especially when you're trying to figure out where you are. And that's why this week has been so important in practice, to get their heads straight and to find better schemes and better execution of those schemes defensively. That's why I call it a crossroads game on Sunday. This is a crossroads week for where they are going to go the rest of the season, this huge game against UAB.
By the way, if you did not see it, the quote I was talking about Jaden Hardaway that Penny had yesterday, he said, he was asked about it at his media availability, he said, just go by what I see in practice and what I know that's real. Obviously, Ashton is a talent. He's more talented than Jaden. But if you ask anybody in this building, they'll tell you Jaden is kind of one of the most important guys on the team. because he's going to box out every time. He's going to contest every time. He's going to do all the stuff that people don't respect because he doesn't put points on the board. But he's our most solid player. And if you ask anybody in there and you try not to play him, they'll ask me to put him in the game. First of all, I find that hard to believe. But again, and that's all like, if you want to play him, great. Tell him not to shoot. You can't shoot.
Well, here's the thing.
He's a 20. For his career, he's under 30% from three-point range.
Yeah.
This year, he's shooting 20% from three-point range. He's shooting under 40% from the field altogether. Like, again, if you say he does all of these things, great. Tell him to do those things when he's on the court, but don't try to put points on the board, because you say it right there, he doesn't put points on the board. Well, tell him to quit trying to put points on the board.
Yes, but that's the only game he has done that. I think in his career, it's an anomaly to see that type of shooting from, actual attempts from Jaden Hardaway. It never happens. You're right. There is no argument. But I would have to go back and look at every situation. Was the clock winding down? Did he force a shot? Because Jaden usually plays within himself. Now, is he valuable? It's debatable how valuable he is. That's dad talking about his son as well as coach talking about his player. But I do think he has improved. I do think he's valuable in the sense of a solid backup player. But when you are forced to play him 28 minutes, that's trouble. And that loss was, believe me, it wasn't all on Jaden. It was on everybody. Because you're right. He shouldn't be taking that amount of shots. He shouldn't be taking more shots than Quinterly. But when you lost Walton and you already were out without Caleb Mills, they needed somebody to play better defense on the perimeter, and he tries. Now, he's not always in the right position to rebound. He is most of the time, but a lot of times he's out of position, just like Jordane's out of position at times, Tomlin's out of position at times. I watch that religiously, where they are on rebounds, looking at the ball, not boxing out as well as they should. But Jaden's pretty fundamentally sound. He's right. Ashton has much more of an upside, and I think you'll see that as the years progress. Jaden's valuable in the sense that he is a role player, but to have played that many minutes, mind you, because of the injuries, and to take that many shots certainly didn't help the cause.
Yeah, I wouldn't play him that many minutes, but I understand in that situation because of injury, stuff like that, if you needed to have him on the court, my only issue is him being the second most field goal attempts on the team. That's all. That's the only thing I don't understand. And I don't think all the other players are saying, put Jaden in the game.
No.
You got to put, hey, committee, coach, you got to put Jaden in the game.
No,
we will not accept him not playing.
Probably what he meant was they have a lot of respect for him. They acknowledge he's a leader because he's one of the older players. He's one of only two that were with the team last year. I think he's well-liked and well-respected. But no, you're absolutely right about that. But again, it was a situation where I think it was very rare for him to do that. I would imagine that was the most shots he's ever taken in a game at Memphis. But I'll need to look that up. But
I would guess it is not.
Yeah. You think he's taking more than 7? I just don't know.
No, some of those might have been like blowouts where he actually was fine to be on the court, but and take shots.
Right. Yeah, I would doubt it. But he's usually not forcing the issue. That game, though, yeah.
Sunday going to be a big day. Of course, you got the AFC, NFC championship games and the Tigers all in action. Grizzlies will be in action as well. So you've got a lot of things going on Sunday. But, of course, Grizzlies playing tonight. And if you're not going to the game down at FedEx Forum, you can watch that at East Coast Wings, just like all the games on Sunday, all the games all weekend long. College basketball all day Saturday. You can find it all at East Coast Wings and Grill on their many TVs while enjoying some of their great food, especially the wings with 60 different flavors to choose from. Wings that are absolutely fantastic, plus so many other great items like the flatbreads or the burgers, all of that on the menu you'll find absolutely delicious at East Coast Wings and Grill. Plus, 24 draft beers on tap. Any other beers that you need, they've got that for you. Any drinks that you want, they've got it for you. 3:30 to 6:30 Monday through Friday is happy hour with 2-for-1s on the draft beers. burgers, bucket specials, and more. East Coast Wings and Grill, located just off Highway 64. They're on Kate Hyde Boulevard, which is the road that runs right between Lowe's and Walmart off of Highway 64. Check them out this weekend for all the action. East Coast Wings and Grill.
All right, coming up in our final hour of the week, we will talk NFC, AFC championship games with the one and only Brandon Lang. He's next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
They're taking care of business in Memphis, right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your buddy Johnny Radio. I'm here with Mark, the owner of Dyer's, out in Collierville's historic town square, where they've been cooking up them burgers since 1912, the old-fashioned way. Mark, what's going on in life? I see you got your 4 kids with you. What do they love about Dyer's?
Man, they love everything about Dyer's. They love all the great food that we serve, and they really like eating our good food and watching some of their favorite sports.
Braden, what do you like at Dyer's?
I like a bacon burger with fries, a milkshake, and with a Tigers game in the background.
Carter, who's your favorite football team?
The Carolina Panthers, and just with some macaroni with that sounds amazing.
My man Beckham, what's your favorite food over at Dyer's?
We like the double cheeseburgers.
Kinley, what is your favorite dish over at Dyer's?
Daddy's cheeseburgers and the Dallas Cowboys game in the background.
Just remember, everybody, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team out and eat at our place.
So head on over to Dyer's in Collierville's historic town square.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Don't miss your Grizzlies today at 7 p.m. when they host the Orlando Magic on Faith and Family Night. Fans are encouraged to stay post-show for laughs and fellowship with comedian Christian Mr. McCartney. Get ready for a show and secure your tickets by visiting Grizzlies.com.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It's finally starting to pick up out here with some more volume just in the last few minutes. 540 westbound, let's say from Germantown Parkway all the way up to Sycamore View Road. Traffic on Summer Avenue still busy coming inbound. A lot of volume over here on 240 east and west around Poplar and Walnut Grove. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, they're located at 7525 Highway 64. They are your Valentine's Day headquarters. Shop local this Valentine's Day. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:03 the time. Our final hour this week here on Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Check out their floor model sale as it continues. Cloudy and 52 degrees currently. We're looking at a high today of 61 with a 50% chance of rain. Tonight, cloudy with occasional rain showers. That percentage at 40%. The low, 46. And then for your Saturday, cloudy again, a few showers in the forecast. High of only 50 tomorrow. Chance of rain down to 30%. Coming up in just a moment, Brandon Lang will join us to handicap the AFC-NFC championship games. You were right about Jaden Hardaway. His career high in attempts in a game at the University of Memphis, 10.
Yeah, I figured at some point in his career, he certainly, I don't know what. Yeah, there's been games where they were probably blowing people out and he was in there. That's fine if he wants to shoot then. Okay, I'm fine with that.
But even then, I mean, to me, he always seems to defer. That's why I was like surprised. I thought 7, maybe that was a career high, but it was 10.
We got a text from somebody who says, Ashton's upside, ? Where? He's not athletic and his shooting is way overrated. He had one good game.
Let him get comfortable to the college surroundings. I think he'll improve as time goes on defensively. He's big. He's got to get more physical, get in there and rebound the basketball. But I do love the stroke. I think he could be a really solid three-point shooter as the years go by. Give people a chance, for goodness sakes. What was it, his third game? No, 1, 2, 3. What was it, his fourth or fifth game against Michigan? When he had the huge game, they don't win without that performance. So he's capable of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a freshman.
He has more of an upside than Jaden. Jaden's a solid player. Ashton has more of an upside. I would disagree with the what that text.
He has more. Certainly has more of. I think he has more of an upside than Jaden. Yeah, I don't think that's saying a whole lot. But the problem with that, he's slow. Like, his feet are slow. Like, I don't know what position he's going to play. I just don't know what position
he's not the NBA, for goodness sakes. He played at Sierra Canyon with Bronny James. They were a hell of a high school team. I think if he's talented enough to play for that program and be a vital part of that team, I'm certain he can play college basketball. Yeah, there are going to be players, I'm sure, that he's not going to be able to defend because of the lack of quickness with the feet. I mean, what you're pointing out is absolutely right on, but he can become better with his long wingspan of defending, but he has to get more physical. I think that's going to be important, to get in there, put some solid muscle on, and bang for rebounds. At his size, he has to do that.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to be a stretch 4. Like, I think he needs to play the 4.
Right.
Be a stretch 4.
Right.
So he's going to have to be more physical. And yeah, I mean, as far as the shooting goes, yeah, he hasn't shot it well other than that Michigan game, but he's also getting very, it's hard getting very few shots, not many minutes, all that type stuff. So he's not playing him, so he's not taking many shots. I don't have a problem with Ashton.
And again, Tulane, he brings him in cold off the bench to take a 3-point shot that he missed. Real quick before we bring on Brandon, news involving the Memphis Showboats. According to a story that's out there, they're signing quarterback Troy Williams, who played for the Maulers of the USFL. And they are releasing quarterbacks Guy Myers and Ryan Willis. So that would mean Cookus, who they got in the dispersal draft. Do they still have Cole Kelly, I assume? And now you have Troy Williams. So at least 3 that I know of for the Memphis Showboats. Time now to talk with Brandon Lang.
It's time to handicap this week's action. Joining Greg and Eli is sports handicapper Brandon Lang, subject of the movie 2 for the Money.
It's P equals P. You walk into a strip bar and you let her take your hand and drag you into that champagne room. Pressure equals problems. You just can't do it. And I'm telling you, pressure equals problems in the NFL.
Get Brandon's plays at BrandonLang.com.
There's 4 things you can't handicap in sports. There's 4 things. Penalties, turnovers, player stupidity, and coaching stupidity. What are they smoking?
Also, listen to Brandon with Clay Harbor and Cam Rogers on the Believe Podcast Network.
You're on a dating app, and they don't show a body picture. Run! Run!
Now, here's Brandon with Greg and Eli.
He is the best in the biz. He is the most entertaining man that handicaps games. He is Brandon Lang, who joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Plus, you'll be able to see Brandon on Pluto. How are you?
I think the funniest part of that opening is this: they don't show a body picture that dating apps run.
Run! The way you say it, too. It's all about the delivery, Brandon. It's about the delivery. How you doing?
That is so true. I'm good. Looking forward to these games. I think it's
I think Detroit's got a fighter's chance to pull off the outright win.
How did last
really
weekend go?
I need a lobotomy.
Uh-oh.
I need to go to one floor with the cuckoo miss. I talked myself off Ravens, and I laid it with the Niners. And then I watched the Ravens game early and just see the domination of which I said was going to be a domination.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, there's no way the Niners are covering. I said, I passed up on the Ravens, which I touted to everybody all week, and I jump on the Niners. And I can't stand Kyle Shanahan. I just can't. I can't stand anything about him. I would have had more respect for him if he'd have gone into the press conference after the game. Because he said, he goes in and says, listen, when we show up and we play our best game, we can beat anybody. Obviously, we didn't play well. And, but we still found a way to win. I don't have respect for that. I have respect for this. I'd first like to apologize to everybody out there who laid the 10.5 with us tonight. I buried you. My team buried me.
Don't hold your breath.
My quarterback played like garbage. He showed tonight why he was the last player selected in the draft. And I'll be honest with you, if he didn't play better, we're not going to beat Detroit. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be honest with you. He was absolute garbage until that last drive. And I don't know what my defensive front was doing. They got absolutely dominated by that Green Bay offensive line, got no pressure whatsoever. And my secondary played like a sieve. They're holding, pass interference penalties. They couldn't cover Sister Jean from Loyola Chicago in a wheelchair with that gold scarf in the slot. She probably would have got open on him. So, I got to do a better job. And I'd love to tell you guys to get a refund with DraftKings or FanDuel, which the NFL, of course, is partnered with. And we all know it's driven by gambling now. And I just thought when I come into this press conference, I should just say that gambling pushes the NFL, and we didn't cover the number. And we should have. We should have blew that team out, and we did because I suck as a coach. And I don't know if we're going to cover the 7.5 against Detroit. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't know what my team's going to do. But I just got to do a better job of getting Brock Purdy to play like he could get his head out of you-know-what and play a little better. But we suck tonight. I suck tonight. We cost you a lot of money out there. And I just hope you can forgive me. I'm not going to take any questions. I'm out of here. I would have had much more respect for that than, we didn't play well and I just take you back to the Atlanta Super Bowl when my play calling in that last drive was horrendous and cost the city of Atlanta a championship, and I suck. Yeah, Kyle, you suck.
You know it's always going to be coach speak. But here, serious question, though. You were on here touting Baltimore. You're all over Baltimore. And what makes you change? As the week progresses, what kind of new data do you get when you've already seemingly made up your mind to make you change your mind, of all people?
Couldn't get past the Carolina Panthers 3 weeks ago, putting up 30 on Green Bay's defense. That was a two-win football team that probably should have beat Green Bay and knocked them out of the playoffs. And I'm like, yes, they beat Dallas. They beat Dallas. But I was like, I just don't think they're going to be able to move the ball on the Niners defense. And what you saw is the Niners defense is overrated. If their front four doesn't get pressure, their back end can't hold up. They just can't. Everything's predicated on their front four getting pressure, and that Green Bay offensive line just destroyed them. And conversely, the offensive line of the Niners has got problems. They've got problems. If Brock Purdy has to play feeling pressure on Sunday, he's going to look exactly the way he looked last week. He felt pressure. The only time he didn't have pressure in the pocket, and it may have been Green Bay's D-line was a little tired, was that last drive. That last drive, he had what they call as a clean pocket. He had a clean pocket. He was able to go back and set his feet and whatever. But for most of the game, he felt pressure. I just said it on the opening when you do my little opening. Pressure equals problems. He felt pressure, and he was garbage. Well, that pretty much goes with any quarterback. If Tom Brady felt pressure, Mahomes feels pressure, Josh Allen feels pressure, Aaron Rodgers feels pressure. Quarterbacks aren't the same. But you take a kid who's the last pick in the NFL draft, scouts don't miss. I agree with what everybody says. Brock Purdy is a product of the system of which it's a very friendly quarterback system. You could pretty much insert anyone. I'll say the same thing about Tom Brady. Tom Brady played in a very nice quarterback-driven system. Well, what do you mean, Brandon Lang? I'll tell you exactly what I mean, Brandon Lang. When Tom Brady got hurt the first game of the year, Matt Castle stepped in. Matt Castle, if you know anything about Matt Castle, he came out of high school, got to USC. He couldn't beat out Matt Leinart. First was Carson Palmer, then it was Matt Leinart. Matt Leinart and Matt Castle arrived at USC at the same time. He couldn't beat out Matt Leinart and set behind him his entire career. Gets drafted by the Patriots. Brady gets hurt, and Matt Castle steps into the system and goes 11-5. They missed the playoffs by one game. Matt Castle signs a $60 million contract with the Kansas City Chiefs. Quarterback-friendly system. That's what Brock Purdy's in. But if he feels pressure, that kid, at the end of the day, who do you trust? Jared Goff or Brock Purdy? Gun to your head.
Goff.
100%. 100%. You look at quarterback play so far in this playoff. Whatever quarterback has played better, that's the team that has won the game. In every single playoff game we have had so far, the only game it didn't was the Green Bay game. And it's a crying shame that Green Bay didn't beat San Francisco because they outplayed them. They should have won the game, and they didn't. And it sucks. Because, we as handicappers, if we have the favorite and the favorite's not going to cover, we do not want the favorite to win the game outright. We want them to feel the pain and the agony of what we feel. Don't get to advance to the next round. If you're not going to cover the number, lose.
I'm with you.
If I'm not mistaken, is it still where the winning quarterback of every playoff game has not thrown a touch or an interception?
I think you're right.
I think you're right. I think that's correct.
I think you're right, and that's it. Listen, in the Tampa Bay Detroit game, I always say this to you because I had Tampa Bay on Sunday plus 6.5, and I call stuff when I watch games with people. And when the field goal kicker at Tampa Bay dunked it off the upright in the second quarter, I said, "There's your cover right there." You go, "What do you mean? It's the second quarter?" I go, "You cannot miss field goals in playoff games when you have the underdog. You can't get that 3-point back." Listen, forget the fact that the dropped interception by Tampa Bay on the first possessions for Detroit, which he might have been able to return for a pick six. That hit him right in the hand. Same thing in the Green Bay game. They had a pick six that would have probably sealed the game early in that game. But Dean dropped it right in his hand, flat out dropped it. Detroit gets 3. Tampa Bay misses that field goal. You can't get that 3 points back. What's the game fall on? 8. Where's that 3 points? Tampa had 2 possessions start the third quarter. Got to the Detroit 40 and the Detroit 45. Horrendous play calling. And they couldn't get a field goal out of that.
You had it at 6.5?
Yeah.
So that 2-point conversion that everybody debates about Todd Bowles, which I understand going for, that 2-point conversion would have given you the cover.
Let me explain something to you about Todd Bowles. I wish somebody would just walk by him and give him a prostate exam to get some emotions out of him. Seriously. He sits on the sidelines and he sits on the sideline and coaches as if he's thinking this right, as if he's thinking this right here. Did I put 2 Splendas in my coffee, or did I put 3 Splendas in my coffee? And wait a minute, did I turn the burner off in the house before I left the house? And do I need to call my wife and ask her if I turned the burner off? Todd, are we going to blitz here? Hold on, guys. Is my car on empty or is it not on empty? And do I need to fill it up with gas? And Todd, we need to blitz here. It's 3rd and 8, guys. Hold on a minute. I'm just thinking. And by the way, do I want to put my kid in timeout because he spilled orange juice on the carpet, which I absolutely hate and drives me crazy? But I just don't know. And what am I going to get my wife for Valentine's Day? Last year I got her this, and I don't. The whole game, that's his facial expression. He doesn't do a thing. Nothing. Give me Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's sloughing at the mouth, head button, fist knocking. Dan Campbell's like just a gnarly, let's go. Todd Bowles sits there like going, I think I'm going to take my dog to the vet. I really do. I think he's got worms, and I picked up a stool sample outside, and I just think that he's just got worms, and just that's the way it is. Like, I just can't. I just makes me stick to my stomach.
Yeah, but let me say this: Belichick wasn't animated on the sidelines.
I don't like Belichick either.
Well, I thought you meant success or lack thereof, but
no, I don't. These stoic coaches that just said, "You're an NFL head coach, man. Show some emotion."
I know. I'm with you. I'm with you as far as that's concerned.
I just can't stand these guys on the sideline and literally go, "Do I really have to go to the bathroom right now, or do I not have to go to the bathroom right now?" I just don't know. I really just don't. Like to stare it off in space. Oh, Lord.
So coming up on Sunday, are you going to ride with Baltimore this week against the old Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs?
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Okay. I really firmly believe in my heart of hearts that Andy Reid sets up in front of his team and goes, guys, Brandon Lang says we're not going to cover the number today. He calls me fat, says I coach in a food coma. Every chance he gets, he rips me of my fatness and what I eat for the buffet after the game. And guys, he picked against us. Let's make sure we go out and cover. Same thing. Guys, Brandon Lang, he's on us today. He says we're going to cover the number. Guys, I know this may cost us the chance to go to the Super Bowl, but we can't let Lang win. We can't. So he's on us today. Let's make sure we don't cover the number. I couldn't win a game involving Kansas City to give me the final score. To give me the final score today. If God came to me, I'm sitting on my bed last night, 2:30 in the morning. I wake up and I look, this white glow, white gown, and there's the aura of God. And he's sitting there looking at me with a glass of lemonade. And he says, here you go, my son. I'm like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. He says, listen, I know the Chiefs torment you, and I know they buried you in the Super Bowl twice, and I know you hate them, and I have to help you get rid of the hate. I'm going to give you the winner on Sunday. I'm going to hand you the point spread winner. Are you ready, my son? I would look at God and go, I don't trust you. I got to talk. I have to trust Satan because they're just evil. They're just
my
evil.
gosh, that's so funny.
I gotta go to the dark side, Lord. I love you, Lord.
Would you do anything with the
Thank
over?
You. Hold on.
Okay.
Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. But I can't trust you, dear God. I just can't. They hate me, so I don't wear red.
I don't
trust you. I can't wear red for the rest of my life. I don't trust you, my Lord.
So I get hear now through whatever just it was funny as hell, but that you're not going to take a team one way or the other. But would you play the over under?
No, I'm gonna put the kiss of death on the Chiefs.
Okay, so any bet involving that game, right? Okay.
I'm taking the Chiefs +4. I'm putting the kiss of death on Andy. Stand in front of that team, you fat people. You know what?
You're
Good
really
luck.
going.
I got you now.
You're going with the Chiefs.
See, I think the Chiefs are winning it.
I'm taking them +4.
You're doing a spite
bet.
win. You're doing a
that
spite bet.
That line is up. Well, listen.
You think it's a field goal game?
As crazy as this sounds, he's 9-3 straight up, 11-1 against the spread as an underdog, as a quarterback in the NFL. I'm so sick and tired of the State Farm MVP bundle your home and auto together. I'm so sick of my auto and my homie, and I'm so sick. I swear to God, if I see another State Farm commercial, I'm going to go find me a State Farm agent at the grocery store and beat him with a flank steak. I can't take it anymore. I'm sorry.
Well, get used to it, brother. Get used to it.
I know.
I want Baltimore to win.
Why are we going
to win.
flank
Kansas
steak?
City's
Why go flank steak? Why is that your steak of choice to beat somebody with?
Because A, it's what I eat a lot of while I'm bodybuilding.
Easier to grip.
B, easier to grip in the wrapper. If you see the way they when you're in the grocery store next time, Eli, go look at the flank steak. It's round. It's kind of long. You can hold it. It's good for beating folks.
You should get a tomahawk. You should get a tomahawk.
Well, yes, a tomahawk would be perfect. But
that's the perfect beating
steak. You never see a tomahawk at the grocery store, do you? Listen, good tomahawk steak.
My girl has been sending me this political stuff, and she sent me some stuff yesterday about illegal immigrants and how they're getting into the United States, and they're coming from India, they're coming from Argentina, they're coming from Mexico, they're coming from all over. And as these immigrants, there's charts and maps of showing them how to get into the United States along the path that they go. The smugglers, the cartel, and she's sending me this stuff, and it's unreal when you see that as they're going through the jungle and they get through the jungle to the next staging area, they have like Red Cross set checkpoints set up with food and water for them as they're coming through to get into our country. It's mind blowing. And she sends me this stuff, and I get all angry. And she says, "What do you think?" I'm like, "I just want to go beat folks. I just want to go start beating on politicians and beating on folks and working my way up like Denzel Washington and the Equalizer, where he works his way up the chain to the top guy. I just want to. We don't even 10 years from now, we're not even going to be living in America. When you watch this stuff of where our country's going with there's going to be 790 million immigrants in our country by 2050. It's unreal when you watch this. You lose your mind and you just want to start hurting folks. So Flank steak would be my choice.
Train is off the tracks here. Officially.
It's off the tracks here.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
anyway.
I just see that. I knew there was a reason why. I just wanted to get the reasoning behind the flank.
Okay.
I knew you had sound reason. What about the other game on Sunday?
Well, now he's going to go off on Shanahan. So
you say you like?
I'm taking Detroit.
You like him?
Bottom line, I don't trust. You have to trust what your eyes just showed you and what your eyes have seen. And the amazing thing about Detroit and their defense is Aaron Glenn is doing a really great job of timing his blitzes of when he's going to blitz.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you a perfect example. I'm going to take you to one play in the Tampa Bay game. And it was a 3rd and 8 in Detroit, and Tampa had it at the Detroit 38-yard line. So it's a field goal right now. And he brings both linebackers into the A gap as if they're going to blitz. So the right tackle of Tampa, I don't know what his name is, and I'd like to fly down to Tampa and get me a flank steak and meet him out in the parking lot and beat this fat, you know what, within an inch of his life. If you're the right tackle, right? You're the right tackle. Just bear with me here. You're the right tackle, okay? It's 3rd and 8, 39-yard line. It's a 56-yard field goal. We need these three. We're going to cover the number. And he looks to his right, and there's this kid called Aiden Hutchinson to his right, right here. Hey, Aiden, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Okay. Whatever happens in the face of the planet Earth at this moment in time in Detroit, whatever I do, I don't know what's going on in the inside with the two linebackers in the A gap, but you guys better figure that out because I'm just going to take care of Aiden Hutchinson right here. No matter what happens, I'm just going to, this is my guy. You guys better figure that out. So what's he do? He looks right to the inside of the linebackers are, and he's like, okay, well, I better help out over there, and I'll just let Aiden run right by me and bury Baker. So what happens? The ball is snapped. The linebacker on the right drops out of the A-gap and goes back into coverage, and by the time this tackle looks to his right, Aiden's already sacked Baker Mayfield. And it just goes to show you that the offensive line of San Francisco played like garbage. They did. They got completely overpowered until that last drive where they gave him a little bit of time to throw. I'm going to tell you right now, Aaron Glenn is going to come after Purdy, and he's going to come after him, and he's going to show him some stuff. And I can't get past not taking the 7.5 points to Detroit. I just can't. I think they got a fighter's chance to win the game outright, and I'm going to roll with it.
Well, enjoy the games. Best of luck to you. We'll talk to you next week, and hopefully it goes well for you.
Got it. All right, guys. See you.
Thanks, Brandon. We'll make some picks here in a moment for the games on Sunday. We also got 10 in a row coming up.
I disagree on both accounts with him.
All right, we'll wait to make those picks.
So you say you got to trust your eyes. That's why I liked Green Bay last week against San Francisco, because I trusted my eyes of what I saw for Green Bay against Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lions, I trust the Lions. The Lions should have lost to the Rams. Like, the Lions have had 2 home games, and they should have lost to the Rams, and very easily could have lost to a bad Tampa team.
Yeah, but
I don't think the Lions have been impressive at all in the postseason.
But the bigger question is why he went off the Ravens. That one I don't get.
Because, again, he went back to the whole Green Bay-Carolina thing. I trusted what I saw at Green Bay in the week prior of what they did to Dallas. I didn't think that was Dallas played terribly, but I don't think Green Bay was a fluke by any means. That's why I took Green Bay last week. Because I'm trusting, and again, I don't think the Lions have been that impressive. I think the Lions now going on the road, getting out of that environment, I think it could be a long day for the Lions.
Well, it depends. If the 49ers, again, we'll talk about it.
If Debo doesn't play, then maybe I would say go the Lions.
They got to wake up. You wonder if they got a wake-up call because the Packers should have won that game. They didn't. So maybe San Francisco looks at it like, man, we're lucky to have won that game. Let's get our act together because they are the better team. They are the superior team. But I just wonder, like he said about Motor City Dan Campbell.
Folks, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Folks at Genesis Diamonds have exactly what you need, that special gift for that special someone. Maybe you're thinking about popping the question. You need that engagement ring. When you talk about a selection of engagement rings, you will not find a bigger selection of engagement rings anywhere around than what you'll find at Genesis Diamonds. Something of every size, every shape, everything you can imagine with the selection, and at prices that will blow you away. Better prices than you'll find anywhere else as well. And you always get great service. If it's not an engagement ring, just something else for that special someone, or maybe it's some other special occasion you've got coming up that you need something nice, well, go see the folks at Genesis Diamonds. From rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, whatever, pre-owned Rolex watches, they've got it all at Genesis Diamonds. Poplar and Perkins Extended is where you'll find them. And again, with their service, with their the folks in there, they are not working on commission, so they are not there to pressure you into buying something more expensive. They're there to educate you, help you become a smarter shopper when it comes to buying jewelry. Genesis Diamonds, again, Poplar and Perkins Extended. For this Valentine's Day, get your special someone something special from Genesis Diamonds.
All right, when we come back, we'll play 10 in a row, and then, as I mentioned, we'll make some picks for the AFC NFC Championship games and talk more about the Grizzlies before wrapping it up. The Grizzlies tonight back in action against the Orlando Magic. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey, y'all, it's the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, January 26th through the 28th at the Agri Center. Come buy your new boat and make some memories at the lake this summer with family and friends. Premier dealers showcasing the newest ski boats, pontoons, fishing boats, with huge show specials. Enter your chance to win daily door prizes. It's all at the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, January 26th through the 28th. For more info, go to memphisboatshow.com. That's memphisboatshow.com.
At the Agri Center.
What's wrong? You look bereft.
I am bereft.
What is it?
Well, there's only 3 Central Barbecue locations. The original Central Barbecue on Central, it's closed.
Oh, don't worry, little buckaroo. The location on Central will be back before you know it and better than ever.
But
Now, there's still the location on Summer. You love that one, right?
Yeah.
And there's still the Central Barbecue downtown and the Central Barbecue on Poplar. You love those too, right?
I do love those.
So you could go to those, and then when Central Barbecue on Central reopens, it'll be like Christmas, but with pork.
I feel better already.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Let's make this the new year to drive your new Kia home from Gossett Kia on the Pike. Bobby J's waiting to put you in a new Kia today. So come hit the road with 41 MPG Highway and 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Or get 7 passenger seating in a 2023 Kia Sorento LX. We Gossett at $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And if you want your new ride to be a 2024 Kia Telluride LX, we Gossett at $449 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease plus Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Kia today, 1900 Covington Pike. Online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee. Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21,590. Sorrento PG 242-710, MSRP 33,010. Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38,705. Concludes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/31/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, SIG, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Corky's Barbecue in Cordova.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 9:32 the time. 28 more minutes to go before we hand the reins over to Dave Woloshin for Wolo and Friends. Get our sports weekend started. Again, should be a pretty fun weekend. AFC NFC Championship games taking place on Sunday. Memphis Tigers back in action Sunday in Birmingham against UAB. The Grizzlies tonight hosting the Orlando Magic. Well, more on that in a little bit, and then on Sunday they'll be in Indiana to take on the Pacers. But right now it's time to give away a prize package. It's time for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
All right, folks, need you to jump on the Sports 56 listener lines right now. 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. Get on there first. You won't get shut out in the end. What are they playing for?
We've got a $25 gift certificate to Sunrise to go enjoy some great breakfast or lunch at either one of their two locations. $25 gift certificate to East Coast Wings and Grill. A couple of Malco movie passes and a couple of free haircuts from Supercuts.
I don't want to make these really hard, but I also want to make it a little bit challenging where you just can't look it up simply in 1 second and know the answers and kind of roll along. So we need the guinea pigs to get up there and start it out. Here's the question. Canton/Cooperstown, players who are in either the Major League Baseball or the NFL Hall of Fame. Currently, Canton/Cooperstown, players who are either in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown or the NFL Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. That's it. If they're in, it's a yes. If not, it's a no. If they're in, it's a yes. If not, it's a no. That's simple. Cooperstown, Canton.
360-8255, 360-8255. That is the phone number to play 10 in a row. Again, $25 to Sunrise, $25 East Coast Wings and Grill, a couple of Malco movie passes, and a couple of free haircuts going to the winner of 10 in a row. Guns, more guns. That's what you'll find when it comes to Classic Arms. Classic Arms, located at 1740 Germantown Parkway. That's in that shopping center right behind Corky's on Germantown Parkway. You can also find them online, classicarmsofmemphis.com, where you could shop 24/7. They sell guns, of course, but they also will buy, and they will also trade. They've got new and used guns. They've got all the top brand names: Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, on and on and on. All of the top names. They've got all those. Over 700 guns. Again, we're talking selection here. They're the only gun importer in the Mid-South. They guarantee the lowest prices in town. They do free gun inspections, free gun appraisals as well, all at Classic Arms. Again, 1740 Germantown Parkway, right behind Corky's on Germantown Parkway, or online at classicarmsofmemphis.com.
All right, folks, let's go. 360-8255 if you like to play. I didn't put this one on a silver platter, but it's not that hard. For example, Eli, if I said Hank Aaron.
I think he's in. I think he got into the Hall of Fame one time.
If I said Brock Purdy.
He's not eligible yet.
Yeah, it's that simple, folks. Canton, Cooperstown, you don't have to choose between the two. I'm going to give you either a Major League Baseball player or I'm going to give you an NFL player. And if they're in the Hall of Fame, not projected to be in the Hall of Fame, if they're in the Hall of Fame, they're in Cooperstown right now.
What if they were just elected but have not been enshrined?
I would accept that, but I didn't use any of those guys. 360-8255. Here we go. Let's play 10 in a row. Canton/Cooperstown, players who are in either the Major League Baseball or NFL Hall of Fame.
Mario's first up. What's up, Mario?
Hey, Mario.
Hey, what's up, guys? Somebody got to start it off, man.
Mario's not afraid of no ghost. All right, here we go.
No.
Jimmy Rollins.
Yeah.
360-8255. I don't know why he choked up and laughed about Jimmy Rollins. Friend of the show, Jimmy Rollins.
Wayne, what's up?
Hey, Wayne.
Top of the morning, fellas.
Top of the morning.
Guinea pig.
All right, here we go. List 2 guinea pig. Marvin Harrison.
No.
360-8255. We are off to a rip-roaring start. Canton, Cooperstown. Players who are in either the Major League Baseball or the NFL Hall of Fame. I'll give you the name. If they are in either Hall of Fame, it's a yes. If not, it's a no.
Dan is next. Hey, Dan.
Hello, Dan.
Hey, guys.
Unfortunately, they didn't give you much of a help here, but Jimmy Rollins.
No.
Roberto Alomar.
Yes.
Jerome Bettis.
No.
360-8255. How can we forget the bus?
Steven, what's up?
Steven.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Marvin Harrison.
No.
360-8255. You even got a hint on Marvin Harrison from our last caller. Open phone lines, 360-8255.
This is Dad.
Yeah, this is Dad who played for my Colts. 360-8255 is the number. Canton/Cooperstown. Players who are either in the Major League Baseball or the NFL Hall of Fame. Who's next?
Andre's next. What's up, Andre?
Andre?
Hey, what's up?
Here we go. Jimmy Rollins.
No.
Roberto Alomar.
Yes.
Jerome Bettis.
Yes.
Roger Craig.
No.
Tim Raines.
No.
360-8255. One-time member of the Memphis, what were they?
Tim Raines.
I think it was a Memphis chick.
Memphis Chicks, right. Okay,
Joe, what's up?
Lower your radio, Joe.
One time.
Joe, lower the radio.
What were they here?
All right, we'll put Joe on hold. You got to lower your radio when you come on the air, folks.
Dave, what's up?
Hi, Dave.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Going well. Marvin Harrison.
Yes.
Don Sutton.
Yes.
Calvin Johnson.
Yes.
Manny Ramirez.
Yes.
360-8255. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Steroids.
David, what's up?
Hey, David.
Hey, hello.
Again, Canton
Give it a
Cooperstown, players who are in either the Major League Baseball or the NFL Hall of Fame. Jimmy Rollins.
No.
Roberto Alomar.
Yes.
Jerome Bettis.
Yes.
Roger Craig.
No.
Tim Raines.
Yes.
Buster Posey.
Yes.
360-8255 is the number. Not yet.
Joe, what's up?
Hey, Joe.
Joe? All right.
All types of problems with Joe. 360-8255. We still have a few more minutes, but you need to jump on the Sports 56 listener lines right now. 360-8255. Playing for a nice prize package, 10 in a row. The question, Canton/Cooperstown. Players who are in either the Major League Baseball or the NFL Hall of Fame. You don't have to make a choice between Canton or Cooperstown. They're either in one of the two or they're not. It's that simple. They're in the Hall of Fame or they're not in the Hall of Fame.
Again, $25 to Sunrise, $25 to East Coast Wings and Grill, a couple of Malco movie passes, and a couple of free haircuts from Supercuts.
See if three's the charm for Joe.
Joe, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Here we go, Joe. All right, Marvin Harrison.
Yes.
Don Sutton.
Yes.
Calvin Johnson.
No.
360-8255. Got a few more moments, folks. If you haven't tried yet, you only get one opportunity each week, and if you win, you only get one opportunity for that month, right? You cannot win again within a month. But if you have tried already, sorry. If you haven't tried, step up to the plate. It costs nothing. 360-8255, 901-360-8255. We'll give it a few more minutes. In the meantime, the Grizzlies back at home tonight to take on the Orlando Magic. We know they've struggled at home this year. Overall, though, against the Magic at home at FedEx Forum, they're 19-8. They're 28-25 versus the Magic all time. The Grizzlies have won 4 straight against the Magic overall and the last 3 meetings at FedEx Forum, but we know this is a whole different Grizzlies team. But can they play like they played in Toronto, and especially like the way they played in Miami? Memphis has used 25 different starting lineups this season, the most in the NBA. The Grizzlies, believe it or not, are 7-5 in the month of January, despite using 11 different starting fives in those 12 games. Isn't that crazy?
It is a bizarre thing what is going on with the Grizzlies.
Again, you can walk in to any game at FedEx Forum or watch any game on television right now involving the Grizzlies, and they could pull the upset or they can lose by 30. You just don't know with the team that's been assembled. But I can tell you this: those young guys, they are playing for their future. They're playing for, whether it be in Memphis or somewhere else, a spot in the NBA, be a part of the rotation, maybe a starting job one day. And those dudes are bringing it. And more power to Taylor Jenkins for doing what he has done, because he said he's got to find chemistry with these guys. It took a little while, and now it seems like he has found chemistry. But every night it's different because guys are in and guys are out. Kennard is expected back tonight.
It looked for a while like last night Miami was going to come back, and then after losing to that Grizzlies team, beat the Celtics. But then the second half, the Celtics just put a beat down on them.
And they lost Porzingis, right?
Miami could not guard at all. They're struggling a bit on the defensive end. Val is next up. Hey, Val.
Hey, Val. All right, last chance apparently. So here we go. Jimmy Rollins.
No.
Roberto Alomar.
Yes.
Jerome Bettis.
Yes.
Roger Craig.
No.
Tim Raines.
Yes.
Buster Posey.
No.
Shannon Sharp.
Yes.
Lou Wicker.
No.
Cortez Kennedy.
Yes.
Terrell Davis.
Yes.
Congratulations. I didn't think we'd have a winner. Good job, Val.
Well done, Val. Ooh. Congratulations. You are a winner. Hold on. Zach will take care of you, not Tyler.
Going way back. All right, so here's list 2 for you. Marvin Harrison.
Yes.
Don Sutton.
Yes.
Calvin Johnson.
Yes.
Manny Ramirez.
No.
Ozzie Newsome.
Yes.
Dale Murphy.
Yes.
No. Murphy
got in. Didn't Murphy get in?
No, he's not in, and that's ridiculous.
I thought they put him in like the Veterans Committee put him in.
Nope, he's not in there yet. Hines Ward.
No.
Lester Hayes.
Yes.
No, he should be in the Hall of Fame too. Tom Seaver.
Yes.
Tim Lincecum.
No.
No. Lincecum, has he got to the 5 years yet, or is he just not good enough for the Hall of Fame?
I don't know if he's to 5 years or not, but he's not good enough.
Yeah, no question. Dale Murphy needs to be in Cooperstown. Lester Hayes needs to be in Canton, in my opinion. Folks, if you're ready to drive a new Silverado into 2024, All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch has financing down to 1.9% or up to $7,500 in cash. You get another $2,250 with your trade-in on select vehicles. You're going to love the new All-Star Chevy Equinox and Trailblazers. Again, financing down to 1.9, no payment for 90 days. That's 3 months without paying. Also, if you want a certified pre-owned Chevy or any of their pre-owned vehicles, All-Star's loaded up with them, and they're always adding more to the lot. So go on down there, see what they have to offer. Lots of pre-owned Silverados and Tahoes, Jeeps and Broncos. The Traverse with that third row seating so you can do more together as a family. If it's not on the lot, just ask Jeff. He'll find it for you. Kevin and Jeff, everyone at All-Star Chevy asked me to wish you guys a very happy and healthy new year. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, not Bartlett or Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch, Mississippi. Find new roads to All-Star Chevy today or go to allstarautogroup.com. All right, when we come back, we'll make our picks for the championship games on Sunday. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Roofs, roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21590, Sorrento PG 242-710, MSRP 33010, Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38705, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license, see dealer for complete details, offer valid through 1/31/2024 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, Happy New Year, dude. Hey, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
Let's start the new year off right in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway 2024 Kia Forte LXS $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Got a big family? Get a 2023 Kia Sorrento LX $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. Plus a 2024 Kia Telluride LX $449 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36 months lease.
And every Gossett Kia comes with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
And stop by and see the all-new EV9 all-electric SUV. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMTMoriah.com.
At Genesis Diamonds, it's not just a new year, it's a new opportunity to bring you more choices, more value, more ways to celebrate your love. So we've expanded our selection of exquisite hand-picked diamonds from a half carat to 15 carats. All shapes, all sizes, all at our famous no middleman prices. We've also got lab-grown diamonds of the highest quality at prices way below what you see at other jewelers. We've also brought in even more exclusive designer jewelry, new cutting-edge, fashion-forward rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, things you can't find anywhere else. And of course, Genesis is proud to offer a truly spectacular collection of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. We have all the most popular models in stock. Is this the year you reward yourself with a premier name in timepieces? Come to Genesis in 2024 and let our non-commissioned experts help you celebrate those important milestones. We guarantee the best value, the highest quality, and the strongest warranties and guarantees in the jewelry industry. Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces.
At Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all. The collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the new Callaway AI Smoke Driver. The new AI Design Club has multiple sweet spots across the face, making it an average of 7 yards longer than the prior model. Visit us in-store for a free custom fitting at your local Edwin Watts Golf Shops or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Don't miss your Grizzlies today at 7 p.m. when they host the Orlando Magic on Faith and Family Night. Fans are encouraged to stay post-show for laughs and fellowship with comedian Christian Mr. McCartney. Get ready for a show and secure your tickets by visiting Grizzlies.com.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:49 the time. Final segment here on this Friday edition of Sports 56 Morning. So we're about 10 minutes away from getting our sports weekend going.
A couple of text messages I wanted to get to. One, we were talking earlier about the quarterbacks, and Reggie texted, says, I don't believe these quarterbacks can be ranked. Good for talking points only. Nobody cares after they've left the game for years. They are unique in their own way and era. And it takes others to help them be as good as they are, unlike baseball or golf, where the players make plays as an individual. Certainly, yes, football relies very much on other guys to be good or bad. Especially, and again, it's all about
all team sports do.
It's getting drafted into the right situation, that type of stuff. But yeah, it's and again the game of football just has changed so much, especially from the passing perspective over the years, that the numbers are hard to try and digest of what it means for a quarterback or a receiver.
There's no question about it. It's always hard to compare eras, right? You got to judge them for when they're playing and what those rules were and things of that nature. But it's not like Brady and Mahomes have played in different eras. It's not like Mahomes or Brady played in the 1960s. It's tough when you compare like a Johnny Unitas. But I still think Johnny Unitas is one of the top 5 quarterbacks of all time.
Raider Corey says, damn, Dale Murphy and his wife have 8 children, 7 sons and 1 daughter, which I didn't know. That's the exact same as my parents. And he should be in the Hall of Fame. Baseball voters are so inconsistent. I was thinking that the Veterans Committee had put him in, but they haven't. They keep considering him, but they haven't put him in. I don't understand what is being held against Dale Murphy. And like, at least the Veterans Committee put him in. If the voters didn't want to put him in, one thing, but the Veterans Committee, he absolutely should have been in by now.
He should have. I think he'll get in. He deserves to get in, and it's too bad his kids don't have a vote. That would be 8 votes for him.
How do you know they would all vote for him?
Are they mad at Dad? Did Dad not get him something?
You don't know what the relationship is.
That's true.
Maybe one of them feels that Dad didn't pay enough attention to him as a kid. You never know.
All right.
Those big families. I know a thing or two about these big families.
That's true.
It can be tough out there.
So I had 4 siblings. One's passed, so 3 still alive. You had how many brothers? 8?
6 brothers, 1 sister.
6 brothers, 1 sister. So you had 8 total kids. I had 5.
The same as Dale Murphy.
In my family. Same as
7
Murph.
boys and 1 girl.
Well, how about that? And you're not in the Hall of Fame, for goodness sakes.
And my parents aren't in the Hall of Fame either.
They should be.
If my dad was nominated, I probably would vote for him. I don't know, though.
To put up with you, they should be in the Hall of Fame.
It would be a tough vote. I would take it seriously. You and John I don't want to get you and John Varlas all pissed off at me. I'd take it seriously, and I'd have to look at my dad's credentials to see whether he's in or should be in or not.
That's true. Most people do, but there are some outliers that don't take it seriously. All right, we're going to take this seriously. San Francisco -7.5 against Detroit. They host in Santa Clara the NFC Championship game. What happens?
If Debo plays and is somewhat healthy, 100% I believe it's San Francisco. Even if he doesn't play, I still think San Francisco covers. The bet I love in this game is George Kittle to score a touchdown. I would also take, especially if Debo doesn't play, I would take Brandon Ayuk over his receiving yardage.
The game against
Which I believe is 80.5.
Okay, the game against Green Bay rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. Purdy obviously did not have a great game, but he had the great drive at the end. I want Detroit to win so bad. I want Motor City Dan Campbell and that gang, Aaron Glenn and company, to win the game. I think they have a good chance to win, but I'm definitely going to take them plus 7.5. That hook could be the difference in that game. All right, Kansas City getting 4 in Baltimore. The Ravens have been the best team in the NFL the last couple of months. I don't think there's a question that they've been the best. Kansas City, not usually road teams in the playoffs, but they went to Buffalo last week and they won the football game. Yes, it was back and forth, and they're going to have to really step it up and protect Mahomes. And Soren Petro yesterday on the show said they're not going to be able to protect him, so he's going to have to do his magic. Well, guess what? He's as good as any of the great magicians out there. That's who Pat Mahomes is. I want to see Baltimore win. I'd love to see a Baltimore-Detroit Super Bowl. I don't think that'll happen. But you're going to give me 4? I'm going to take 4. I'm going to take Kansas City.
Baltimore, along with Lamar Jackson touchdown and Isaiah Pacheco over his receiving yardage, which is 16.5.
I thought you don't like the parlays, or are they all individual bets?
I'm not parlaying them together. I bet them individually.
Okay. I mean, I love
Pacheco over his receiving yardage. I think that might be one of those that's done at the end of the first quarter. You've already cashed.
You know, Pacheco's not the biggest guy in the world, and he runs like a house on fire. He's so physical. He's going up against a real physical defense. It worries me a little bit. I'll be honest with you. It worries me a little bit going up against that Baltimore defense. But when you have Mahomes, and I said earlier, I know it's tough to look at different eras and try to compare and all that, but he's in my top 5 already of the greatest quarterbacks. I think he'll spin his magic. Now, for Lamar, who's had an unbelievable year and should win the MVP, we talked about him getting over the hump, winning it all, not just the AFC Championship, but winning the Super Bowl. That's certainly his goal, and that's certainly an attainable goal. But I'm going to go Mahomes. I just worry a little bit about Pacheco.
Moving can be stressful, but if you have the right people, the right professionals to help you with that move, well, then it's a lot less stressful, that's for sure. A lot of that stress and worry can be taken out of the process when you talk to the folks at Black Tie Moving and get them on your side. All you got to do is give them a call at 901-316-6196, or you can go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis. Talk with the folks at Black Tie Moving. They work with you, coming up with that plan for exactly what it is that you need and fitting your budget as well. And while the whole move process is happening, you get a moving concierge available to you 24/7 to answer any questions or things that come up. They're there to make sure you know exactly what is going on. Don't try and do it yourself. Don't ask your friends to help you move. Get the professionals. Black Tie Moving, 901-316-6196, or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis.
The Ravens did get some good news this morning. They have activated tight end Mark Andrews from the IR. So one of Lamar Jackson's favorite weapons will be available. You'll have 2 of the great tight ends. Mark Andrews not as good as Kelsey, but he has been as effective over the last 3 or 4 years. No question that he is a go-to guy. So Andrews. And also, did you see the other day that Zach Ertz was signed by the Lions? Didn't we talk to Soren yesterday about signing players at this point? Ertz is going to play, right, for Detroit?
I don't know. I don't know if he's out play. I think he is on the...
I mean, he's in uniform.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see. But they just signed Zach Ertz. That'll do it for us today and this week. We appreciate you, folks. Thank you for listening. Thanks for your calls, for your texts. John Varlas, we appreciate him joining us today. Matt Dillon, Brandon Lang as well, and all our great guests. If you missed any of the show, you can always listen to the Sports 56 Mornings podcast on the website, sportsmemphis.com. We break it down hourly. Waldo and Friends on Sports 56 is coming up next. For Eli Savoy and for Zach Boyd, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great weekend, everybody.